How's it going, guys? I'll be live in just a sec. Oh boy. How's it going, everyone? What are we doing? And why is this not showing? Why is this not showing? I actually literally set this up just seconds before I went live. Oh, this hates my guts. It hates my guts. There we go. That's now showing. And let's get the audio as well in check. Of course, you're not showing. That's good. Salt mounts around the world about to be obsolete. Oh, mate, it's interesting, isn't it? It's been fair. It's been interesting. Let's just say that. Wait, the chat box isn't working. Please don't hate me this much. Please don't hate me this much. Alright. Let's fix the chat box too. That it? Let's fix the chat box too, so it's all there. Alright, I'm guessing that should have fixed the chat box issue. Hooray! It fixed the chat box issue. Am I on the road to recovery? I am nowhere near on the road to recovery, my dude, unfortunately. I'm actually progressively getting worse. The missus turned around and asked me, why the F are you even streaming tonight? And I said, well, you know, it's big news and I'll only be an hour. So, see how I feel. I do have the Rona and chest infection, ear infection, and, well, being diabetic doesn't really help with the situation. So, it's all amplified because I am diabetic, quite badly diabetic. So I've pretty much, I mean, if you watched my last video, I think you would have seen how I was struggling not to cough and stuff, but that video needed to get out, so I'm happy it got out. I think I'll take a couple of days break, unless there's more salt mines. If you watch the ending of my last video that I just released, it's a pretty special one. I did put some extra effort into, you know, trying to encapsulate how he feels, because it was pretty funny. How's it going, Soul? Connie, yeah, I think I slept for about 2-3 hours. I mean, I've only been up for about 25 to maybe 30 minutes tops. So I got a couple of hours in. I really needed it because it was really, really draining me at that point. But I thought I'd go through some of these because it's funny. I'm guessing this dude here needs no introduction. This dude here needs no introduction. And this is what he said in April.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me drink some of my coffee. Welcome to the show, man. If you don't already know, the CMA blocked the ABK deal. Good old coffee early in the morning, baby.
And this is him right now live. Like, I'm not joking. This isn't photoshopped. That is him live right now. The FCC ain't gonna do anything. I wouldn't worry. Like I said all along, I could see where it was going. I had no no fear that the FTC would ever win. I had no fear that anyone. I might actually react to his video. Is it worth reacting to his video, Devontae? Is it worth doing a reaction video? I mean, of course they. I mean, the fact that they turned around, right, and they started saying, what is it? That they weren't aware of the Ubisoft situation, and it's like, why would they make you aware? You already got bitch slapped like 100 times. You lost. You're no longer a priority. All you're doing is just being a crybaby, you know? You don't want to see it? Yeah, we can see it. We can do it live. We can do it live. You want to see some more? Do you want to see some copium before we get there? Chat, do you want to see some copium before we really get there? Like, I'm talking next level copium. Check this out. Breaking news! Yeah, I'm still fucked. Let the acquisition rat race from Sony PlayStation commence! It is the snowball effect Microsoft wished upon themselves to stay relevant. The CMA has approved the merger with a 15-year clause to let Ubisoft handle Activision's cloud gaming rights. Jimmy Boy knew about the harm of Microsoft monopolizing the cloud gaming space. How is he monopolizing the cloud space? What? Wasn't every PlayStation fanboy saying that cloud is irrelevant? LOL cloud, LOL X cloud, LOL Stadia. Well, is it a good thing now that Sony, because Sony is doing cloud gaming, by excluding ABK games from ever coming to PS5 cloud? No, they didn't say that. They just said if you're willing to pay for the premium, you can have it. But if you're not willing to pay for the premium, you can't have it. They also think that every Sony PlayStation game is going to be 4K 60 going on cloud. These people are completely delusional. And here they are hyping up that waste of space PlayStation Portal, priced at $199, releasing next month, could even receive a software support. They deliberately handicapped the device so it wouldn't have cloud gaming capabilities. It's a remote play device. But the beauty of it is, the moment people jailbreak it, because here's the kicker, right, folks? Here's the absolute kicker. That device is running on Android, right? And I think we all know what's going to happen to it eventually. It's going to be a cloud streaming device, and Sony's going to be very salty about it. So as long as you don't update it. Hey, thanks, bro. Oh, give me the Steam Deck over. The Steam Deck over there. Are you sure? It doesn't need to be charged. And can you just make sure that the charger is in there? in the fan because I desperately need it. I am burning. But you know, as long as it's on Android, it means that people are gonna hack it like there's no tomorrow. Which means that Sony is really treading on dangerous waters. Whether they want it or not is irrelevant. It's going to happen. Thanks. But my question is, if I have one of these, right? And does it have battery? Let me just double check. No, my battery's drained. But I can play GeForce Now on this. I can play PlayStation Cloud Gaming on this. I can play Xbox Cloud Gaming on this. If I actually created a partition on the actual hard drive itself, I could install Xbox PC games on this. Why? I mean, I can even play Epic Games Launcher games on this, GOG Games Launcher on this. I can play everything on this. And it's $150 more than what the PlayStation Portal is. Why would I not buy this instead of that? Hey, Chris. Thanks, dude. See, what I see a lot of people talking about World of Warcraft. I do not see them putting the subscription free on Xbox Game Pass. I can see them giving a discount, but I don't think it will be totally free. I also can see them doing, you know how on Phantasy Star Online 2 Genesis, you get those perks. They give you lots of freebies, XP boosters, and whatnot. I can see them doing something like that too, with like free mounts and free maybe armor or whatever. But that's as far as it's gonna go. You're not gonna get 100% off the subscription price. Oh, that is really hot. I mean, I don't know what the price is for the monthly fee for WoW. Is it $10? Maybe if they made it $5, I think that's reasonable. I mean, I can see them doing like that, like what Final Fantasy 14 does. Yeah, I can see that. $16. So if they made it say like $8, that would be reasonable, right? Especially for those people that aren't on Game Pass. They would be paying for their Game Pass subscription and then jump on there. It makes sense. It would entice people to kind of move over to it. But I can also see like what Final Fantasy 14 does with they give you like the first 3 expansions for free. I mean, they'll probably have to increase Ultimate at that price in value. I mean, I can see a price increase coming anyway. You know, that's a lot of games coming from Activision Blizzard. So I can see them probably increasing it. In the UK at the moment, I think it's $11.99 or $10.99. I can probably see it increasing by another couple of quid. And don't forget, even if it increases by £1, right? Even if it increases by £1 in the United Kingdom, and let's just factor that as a £1 globally, right? If there's 30 million subscribers, that is 30 million, pounds extra a month. That's 360 million a year just from a £1 increase. If they increased it by £2, that's a 720 million increase. It looks so insignificant, these £1-2 changes. That's why Netflix does it. If they need that instant cash injection, they'll increase it by £1, because at £1, you don't really care. Hey, Lions Pride, thank you very much for becoming a member. I appreciate you. But yeah, so this person here, releasing next month, could have received a software update. I tell you what, if it gets hacked and you can install everything on it, I'll buy one. Just so I can put Game Pass on there and then make videos of online with me playing Game Pass on my PlayStation Portal. I'll do it. I'll do that. If it gets hacked, I'll do it. Like, I bought the PSVR 2, and it's been the biggest waste of money ever. Like, that's the last time I'm ever investing in anything like that. But if it actually became useful on my PC, it'd be amazing, right? I could actually use it because it's actually really solid tech, the PSVR 2. But it's useless on the PS5. There's no games. People are like, oh, look at all those 400, 200 games on there. And it's like, but none of them are new. You got like 3 new games and 2 of them are shit. They think they're going to buy Square Enix, Konami, Capcom, Take-Two. They can't even afford Take-Two. I don't even think they can afford CDPR Red. Can they even afford Capcom? Maybe Konami's gaming division they can afford, because that's probably worth nothing now. But even Square Enix, you have to question, can they afford it? But the copium here is so real. I've been watching you enough, I thought I'd give you some love. Thanks a lot, Lions Pride. It means a lot. Gonna be weird not seeing first on PS for COD in 2025. I mean, I think we should see it in 2024, right? This is the last COD game that they're getting. I don't know. I'd heard there's not going to be any storage on the PS Portal. There isn't. There isn't. But it doesn't mean that they can't. It's got internal. It has to have internal storage, right? No matter what it is, it has to have internal storage because it has to have the OS on there. It is purely a remote play device, but it still has to have an OS on there that they will periodically update. So even if it's got, like, I don't know, a 1 gigabyte storage, in all fairness, all you're going to install on there is, I mean, you don't even need to install an app. All you need it to do is have a browser. As long as you can put Google or Edge on there, you're off. You can play those GeForce Now and xCloud, on your browser. So you really don't need that much storage. And it has to have some storage because it's going to have a OS on there. People want to complain that Microsoft is buying their way to games when no one complains that PlayStation was doing it first by buying exclusivity from... That's exactly what I said in my last video. Now, contract is 2024. The board of Disney wants to buy EA? Yeah, I heard about that. That's actually quite... That, to me, is more scary. Because Disney don't know what they're doing. Can you imagine what's going to happen after Disney decide to buy EA? It's weird though, because I think there must be something for Diablo as well. Because they specifically mentioned Diablo not coming this year. They didn't mention anything else about Overwatch or anything else, but Diablo was one of the ones that was mentioned. I think the PS5 Slim is a massive slap in the face of every first day, supporter of Sony. The fact that if you supported my platform day one, I want to give you a massive thank you by giving you 2 middle fingers and letting you know that if you want to get a disk drive for your console, because you supported me, you need to go out and spend $450. But I'm only doing this because you're a loyal customer who stuck with me through thick and thin. You bought the digital one because you couldn't find a physical console. I appreciate that. So as a massive gesture from me to you, my loyal customers, you need to give me $450 so you can get a disk drive. I think that's a massive piss take. That's how I see it, right? You've got PlayStation fans out there being total copium and saying, no, it's okay, it's not a problem. I bought digital and I'm perfectly happy with it. Why would you be happy with it? They've just screwed you over. They could have easily taken that drive that's modular to the Slim, and added a USB port that could just plug into your console. USB-C is fast, right? It's super fast. You could have easily transferred that data. And let's face it, games don't run on disk anymore. It's a DRM check. The game's all installed anyway. Even if it was going to install 10 minutes slower, who cares? Exactly. Money. Disney owns Marvel. That means no more Spider-Man games for the PlayStation exclusive. Until the exclusivity of it runs out, yeah. I mean, Sony owns the movie rights, but they don't own the game rights. What do you think of the... Yeah, the PS5 is just a joke. But yeah, that was funny. What else have we got here? Tom Warren. Oh, we got this as well. This is huge, right? This is what I use for my thumbnail. Just look at that. This is the Microsoft Studios now. This is Xbox Studios. That's insane. You know, I was actually looking at PC parts just the other day to build a second streaming PC. Because at the moment, even with a 3090 Ti, 32 gigs of RAM, 12900 i9, I still cannot run games at ultra settings and stream at the same time. But man, just to build a little shuttle box, you know, one of those little square PCs. I know they're customized and all, but they want $1,000 for like an i5, a small 1650 Nvidia, just so you can have a decent encoder on there. It's like, what? £1,000 for that? I must be looking at the wrong pages. Sega's a weird one. I don't think they'll go for Sega. I don't think they're going to go for anything at the moment. Right now, they're just going to sit back on their laurels and wait. This is interesting, right? They advertised this on the video as well. But Sekiro actually is a game by From Software. It was published in Japan by From Software, but the rest of the world is published by Activision. I think we'll see Sekiro on the service, but if a Sekiro 2 comes out, we may not see that. They may take their publishing rights elsewhere. Cobril, never forget, the deal is 100% dead. Dead. Oh, this dude. This is the dude I was telling you about. This one. This is the one that basically turned around and falsely accused Florian. I'm sure you know who he is. Hey, Kels, how you feeling tonight? Awful, my dude. Awful. I'm just drinking plenty of hot beverages to try and keep my throat from drying up and me from going into a coughing fit. But otherwise, I'm doing okay. This dude is the one that accused Florian of being someone else. And when Florian turned around and requested his details, he noped out. He noped out entirely, closed his Twitter account and everything, and just left the building. The deal is closed, Josh. I did release a second follow-up video. I had to go sleep after the first one, so... I mean, even the second video, I had my kid publish it because I was just so far gone. I just needed to sleep. But... let's see what this is.
I believe a toast is in order. A toast, for sure. And here's to 2022. 2022 it will be. And boy, do I like the word 2022 because it has a lot of twos. You know what else has a lot of twos? Horizon 2. God of War 2. Sony's going to have a lot of twos. We can put out whatever we want. Hell, we might even put out KOTOR Remake by the end of the year. Why not? And that was an Xbox exclusive at one point. Not anymore.
He's funny.
I love it here. I love it here. KOTOR used to be an exclusive. What does Xbox have now?
I mean, it's not coming anymore.
They have Starfield at the end of the year, and then what? Ass nuggets. They got ass nuggets. Sorry. What, Jim? I told you to not bother me while I'm in my gloating mood.
Sorry, it's just...
I think you need to take a look at this. What's the problem? This is something big. What? All it says is that Xbox bought Activision and Blizzard. Who? What? That's against the rules. These niggas cheating. That's not fair.
Hey, Carlos, how's it going?
Sir, your phone is ringing. I hear the phone, Jim.
Jim. Oh.
What? It was fun making fun of me all these years, wasn't it? Who's laughing now? Don't answer that. It's rhetorical. Because the answer is me. I'm laughing. How'd you even get this number? Don't ever ask me how I'm doing stuff or how I'm getting stuff. I can do whatever I want. I'm Microsoft. I made computers.
I like that. I remember that. That was good. That was good. Mighty Keith gets a lot of hate, but I still feel he's really funny. I like him. I like the little skits he makes. Did you not see what Phil Spencer said in his statement? I know I read it out in my video, but he said something that's really interesting. I'm trying to find his post. But yeah, it was really interesting. You've set yourself a bad example. Drinking since 2. What time is it? But apparently, from what I'm hearing, speaking to some of my friends in the industry today, with what little time I had awake, a lot of people seem to be really overjoyed at Activision that the deal is finally closed, employee-wise. So that's really nice to hear. That's really, really nice to hear. Let's see. Let's put this down. Let's go Phil. Because he said something, right? And I think this is worth talking about. All right, here we go. Is it here? No, it's not that one. Here you go. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. I think that for the majority of them, super happy. It won't be till the end of the year, but like I said in my video, I could not imagine them letting Bobby go immediately. That transition period has to be smooth. And Bobby knows that company better than anyone. So having him there for the transition period just makes business sense. You know, Bobby will probably save them about 6 months to a year worth of transfer that he can handle in the space of 2 months, because he knows how everything pretty much, you know, revolves around the company and can pretty much onboard whoever's taking over there with it. So it makes perfect sense to me. What's this? What, Microsoft buying Tencent? Nah, that's not happening. Tencent is owned by China. You really think China's going to sell their company? China, you know, the Chinese government owns over 50% of that company, of Tencent. They are not going to sell. Tencent will never sell. The time is 10:39. Ouch. Hey, it's not that bad, actually. It's oh, you're in the UK as well. Nice. when Jim asked how he got his numbers, the answer should have been, "A hacker sold it to me." But this is the bit that's interesting, right? To the millions of fans who love Activision, Blizzard, and King Games, we know that you are the heart and soul of these franchises, and we're honored to have you as part of our community. Whether you play, this is key, right? Listen to the wording, because the wording here is paramount, right? The wording is really important. Whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, you're always welcome here. That, to me, right? That wording, and I know people are going to try and twist that wording and say that what that means is that Activision Blizzard games will be coming on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, and mobile. What that means is, to me, if you're on PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, it's okay. If you want to play Activision Blizzard games, you come to Xbox or you get Game Pass. That's your options. That is how I'm seeing that. And I think a lot of people now are realizing that that is exactly what it means. Even if Xbox isn't where you want to play your favorite franchise, which basically means Game Pass, because you don't need to own an Xbox in order to play these games. You can play it on your mobile, on your PC, or over cloud, on whichever device you want, which means you don't need an Xbox to experience Activision Blizzard games, but you do need Game Pass. I think Nintendo will. I think it will be a case by case. But what he's saying here is that whatever we did with Bethesda and ZeniMax is exactly what's going to happen over here. There is going to be no Crash Bandicoot is going to be everywhere. Spyro the Dragon's going to be everywhere. Whatever they did there is going to happen here. Now, a couple of you wanted me to react to what's the meth dude? Let me just put my Steam Deck to the side because it's a hefty device. And I absolutely adore my Steam Deck. It's one of my favorite handhelds of all time. Totally not sponsored. Someone said that Dreamcast guy, well, actually released a video crying and wanted me to react to it. So I think we can do that live. This is actually pretty awful. Have you not seen this? Lords of Fallen on the Xbox. I was about to purchase it today for my kid, but this is awful. If this is how it's playing. I mean, even the graphics look awful. That looks like the S to me. That's awful. That's awful. Chaos, speaking of ABK, can you see World of Warcraft come to console now that Microsoft officially own ABK? Covered this a little bit, but it will come. I can see it coming to Game Pass. I don't know if the subscription will be. I can't see the subscription being fully free unless they maybe have a Game Pass Ultimate World of Warcraft edition where the price is bumped up by maybe $2 or $3. I mean, they're going to have to take some money from it because it's a ongoing updated subscription service. So, for example, if you're paying $16 now for your Ultimate, maybe they'll say, right, if you want the World of Warcraft edition, so it includes a World of Warcraft subscription, you'll pay $20. And to be fair, that is still better than paying, I think someone said $16 in chat. So, I think that would actually, I can see them going that way. Is this the one? Is this the one, chat? Is anyone else having any problems? I'm not seeing any frame drops or anything like that on the stream. Everything looks okay, running 60 FPS. So, and my latency is super low, so I can only output at 1080p anyway. So it should be fine. Alright, cool. Carlos, try refreshing your stream. No, we don't want to. Yeah, Dreamcast guy, this year.
Now, the Activision Blizzard deal is officially blocked. It's done. Microsoft is not buying Call of Duty. Now,
that aged like sour wine. Someone's biting me after that. All right, let's watch the video first, and then we can laugh at him. Right? And do you know what? Let's turn this into a video, right? Let's turn this into a video and see if we can actually post it later. All right, so let's click on this link. Get rid of the ad. All right, let's push you all the way back. All right, let's turn this into a video, right, chat? Let's see if we can do it. And if it's actually a good reaction video, I'll post it. What? You know what? Stop the cap. That is my thumbnail. Oh shit! That's a good one. Let's print screen that shit right now. All right. Let's start recording. All right, folks. Welcome back to another video. We are live on YouTube at the moment. Hey, everyone, say hi to your YouTube. Might as well, since you're here. We're doing a live reaction to Dreamcast guy and his reaction to finding out that Xbox buys Activision Blizzard. The Microsoft deal is done. All right, let's go.
what's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here, talking today about the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal because it is now officially done. It is completely finished as of about 10 minutes ago. Officially, Microsoft owns Call of Duty and World of Warcraft and Diablo, and is now going to put it in their cabinet with all the other game studios they've bought, like Rare and Doom and freaking everything else like Skyrim. But I want to discuss this because in this instant fallout, it does feel like a lot of gamers are debating whether this deal is going to be good or bad in the long run.
I mean, it's going to be great for Xbox gamers like us. It's going to be great for those that are in the Xbox ecosystem that game on Game Pass PC. I don't know how it's going to be for PlayStation gamers, though. I think that might be something. And this is another perfect picture, right? I mean, the despair in his face is. I mean, tell me that this doesn't speak 1,000 words. The despair right there is phenomenal.
Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But here, the instant thing that's just kind of crazy is to try and actually grasp the scope of this. Microsoft just purchased Activision Blizzard King, the development studios that make stuff like Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo, Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot, Guitar Hero, and much, much more.
And do you know why? Out of all of those games that he just counted, everyone's focusing on Call of Duty. Everyone's focusing on well, actually, no one's focusing on Overwatch. Maybe about the 3 people left on the server that's actually playing Diablo are going to be interested in that. Old school gamers will be looking at Crash Bandicoot and Guitar Hero, but what Microsoft is looking at is Candy Crush, because that brings a lot of money. That brings in more money than all of these combined, right? Call of Duty Mobile, brings in a few years ago, was bringing in $7 million a day. A day. $7 million a day. Right? That's a lot of money. It was bringing in more money than Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, which are arguably one of the most popular gacha games out there, combined. And it was bringing in $7 million a day. Like, let that sink in. Now, that's all revenue, right? It's not profit, but it is revenue. And that's just one game. Now, imagine if they released like a Halo multiplayer on mobile. A Doom multiplayer on mobile. I know they've got a Doom game at the moment, but there is some really harsh pay-to-win mechanics on there. But there's so many franchises now that Microsoft can delve into, push to mobile. Like, I'm pretty sure you're going to see a massive injection of mobile games coming to, the Play Store and the iOS Store. And this is going to give a nice gateway for Microsoft to open up their own store and, break up the duopoly. And if successful, that will spearhead Microsoft's, profit revenues to the point where Xbox as a brand will live on forever. Does DCG actually play games, or does he spend all his time talking about it? I can say from my perspective, the amount of time I spend making content, it does leave me little time to play games. I do play games. Like, I did a review recently on Eternites, and I'm currently doing a review for Assassin's Creed Mirage. Thanks to you guys, I'm in the actual Ubisoft Content Creators Program, so thank you very much. It's a tough balance, especially if you have a full-time job. But let's continue with the video.
I mean, even Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the sheer size of this acquisition cannot be understated. And I'll be honest, I wasn't sure this deal would actually get done. When they initially announced this buyout in January of 2022, it seemed pretty open and shut. They said they were going to buy it for $69 billion. I thought they would just walk up with a briefcase full of cash and do it. But instead, this acquisition was slowed down by 20 months of regulator battles, both here in the United States with the FTC and obviously the CMA in the UK. For a lot of this year, I've said this in videos, I was actually pretty sure the deal would get blocked, or I was kind of assuming that because of these crazy long battles, I thought that maybe they would break it into chunks. I thought maybe that Microsoft would end up buying Call of Duty and leaving behind Blizzard. In fact, that was the main thing that was being talked about by lawyers in court.
And see, that is where he's wrong, right? This deal was never about Call of Duty. I know a lot of people want the games from Activision and Blizzard. This was never about Call of Duty. It was never about Diablo. It was never about Overwatch. It was always about King. King is the one that they want. If they could buy King separate from Activision Blizzard, they would have ditched Activision and Blizzard in a heartbeat. All they truly wanted was King. So even here, he's actually wrong. He's misinformed. Because King on its own is worth so much more than Activision and Blizzard combined. The money, the revenue potential from King alone is just astronomical, right? If they get those games right, it's astronomical. People look at mobile games and see, it's just, a cheap thrill. But mobile games now today have become AAA gaming, right? They're AAA games. You look at the games like Tower of Fantasy, which I cover on my other channel. You look at Genshin Impact. You look at Punishing Grey Raven. You look at, Honkai Star Rail, Zenithzone Zero. You're looking at all these games, and they're fully fledged open world anime. Okay, they are anime based, but they are so intricate in what they do. They've all got their own quirks, their own pros and cons, but they are fully fledged open world games that you can play on PC, and they are massive. And they're not just vaporware either. So if they can tap into that market, can you imagine how much money they'll be making on a monthly basis? Just release 2 or 3 mobile games. Imagine like a mobile Halo game that's open world, that works on PC as a gacha game. It's crazy. I mean, I don't want it, personally. I'd rather they just released full games. But it's king that they were after all along. I have no idea what that's on his face. Diablo Immortal as well. That is a massive cash grab. When that first came out, I think in its first month, made like $150 to $200 million. It's crazy.
But they did manage to make some concessions and get this all done, which officially makes Microsoft the 3rd largest gaming company in the world, right behind Tencent. Yay, Tencent. Don't we love the fact that some giant mega conglomerate is just buying up game studios? Okay, so let's talk about this, because some people initially are very much celebrating. People
yes, they will
are
be,
happy
Josh.
because in the short term, this is truly fantastic for Xbox Game Pass. The sheer amount of stuff that's about to get added to Game Pass is absolutely insane. And I'll be honest, I have Game Pass. I'm going to play the heck out of a lot of these. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of a lot of these. But I'm a little bit concerned about the long.
This is the first time he admitted that he's got Game Pass, right? Up until this point, Game Pass bad. Everything bad. But now that the deal has gone through, the tune has changed. I wonder why. Microsoft is putting out Skyrim and Doom phone games. I think Doom's already out. Skyrim would be interesting. Microsoft Activision merger is positive for consumers, for wide game industry, and healthy for competition against dominant players Apple, Google. Sony doesn't really come into this. It's the mobile market with Apple and Google.
Term ramifications of it, because we are talking about the consolidation wars. Bobby Kotick is still going to be in.
This masjid is very special to me because I've done it for my late father.
Stupid ad.
Jerk. But people are talking about the fact that, is this a monopolization of the industry? Microsoft has literally trillions of dollars, and they've talked about having so much money. Microsoft has also admitted that they are not profitable. Xbox has pretty much never really been in the green. They're always losing money. They're just buying studios because they're hoping that eventually it makes money. And the reason
that's also false. They've been in profit, even though it's a single-digit profit. They have been in profit for the past 3 years. They just haven't broken into double digits of profits. Like the CTO of Microsoft said, if they aren't making a profit, then questions are going to be asked. Yeah, I need to get YouTube Premium. I used to use an ad blocker, but especially for like stuff like this, I enabled it just for stuff like this, but I can't anymore. So I'm going to have to get YouTube Premium. You don't, even though a multi-trillion company doesn't take losses, at the end of the day, each department has its own profit and loss, right? Its own P&L. Xbox has its own P&L. Microsoft Office will have its own P&L. Every department will have its own P&L that it needs to basically balance and get, be in the green. If it's not, no matter how much that company earns, that department will downsize until it gets into the green. That's why you see layoffs in these companies when it doesn't logically make sense, but each department has a profit and loss portfolio that they need to meet. And if they're not in the profit, then that department clearly isn't worth investing in. And so they start to downsize to the point where it starts making profit. And once it starts making profit, then they start to build again, slowly, to be able to handle more work.
Makes me nervous is because as big as Call of Duty is, as big as World of Warcraft and Diablo are and stuff like that, I am concerned that their size, their unwieldiness of these studios are what are
He
going
really
to
sounds
cause
depressed,
Microsoft
like really depressed.
to possibly start doing mass firings. Now, I'm recording this on Friday the 13th in October. I'm just time stamping this because I'm 99.9% sure this is going to happen next year. So consider this my crystal ball moment. These companies typically end up buying studios and then firing a bunch of people. Epic Games just did it, obviously, laying off a bunch of people at Mediatronic, firing everybody who made Fall Guys. I mean, this stuff happens constantly. In fact, even Embracer Group did this. Embracer Group bought tons and tons of stuff like Tomb Raider and Perfect Dark. They bought every studio they possibly could. And then after it, they closed most of them, canceling games in development, laying off staff because they messed up a $2 billion deal. Now, this is not me attacking Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard is doing their best. I think Activision Blizzard, despite their faults, is trying to make good games. I'm also not saying that Microsoft sucks or is dumbing. I'm saying that companies like this, when you start getting out flow charts this massive, a lot of times it starts end up looking like too much bloat. Companies like this acquire stuff because the brands are valuable and not the people. Now, obviously, you and I are gamers. We don't care about flow charts. We don't care about profitability margins. We want good games. I'm afraid that when big companies buy stuff out, in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, if it's not instantly turning in a good amount of profit, they start to trim the fat and fire the heck out of the real human people making games. That's kind of my concern when it comes to consolidation. It's not about a lack of competition. It's not about, oh, they have exclusives that won't be on my PC or my PlayStation or my Nintendo Switch. My thought is that I do think that this is going to lead to firings. Microsoft has already done a big set of firings last year when they fired a bunch of people working on Halo, and they even fired some testers for Starfield and stuff like that. This company...
Okay, I want to address a couple of points that he's making because he is so misinformed, so out of touch, so just wrong, right? He is wrong on so many different points. Now, during the Rona crisis, right? The Rona pandemic, everyone was at home, right? No one was allowed out. We had lockdowns, subscription prices for Netflix, they were booming. Amazon Prime, booming. I'm guessing the same was for HBO Max, Hulu, all of them. They were doing amazing. Game Pass was doing amazing. One sector that actually profited immensely was video games. They were pumping out games left, right, and center because everyone was at home, bored out of their fucking minds, having nothing to do because they weren't allowed out. So the one thing that they would do is spend all their time playing video games. When you have such an influx of demand, what do? You start hiring through the buttload. And that is what the tech industry did. They kept on hiring and hiring and hiring and hiring. But guess what? Rona wasn't here forever. So when Rona was finished, well, at least eased off, because it's not finished. I'm prime example of it not being finished. People started opening their caves, and looking outside and actually seeing that there's sunlight out there. I mean, they looked out and like, man, those graphics look amazing. The plot sucks, but look how photorealistic everything is. It's not pixels anymore. And so people started to go out. And if you're not in the house gaming, if you're outside exploring the great world again that, we just took back from The Walking Dead, you're not at home gaming. What does that mean? People are buying less. People are investing less. And those revenue in game sales have been kind of pretty stable. They have been dropping for every platform year on year because that boom that was happening had to burst at some point. And when it did, the first people to get cut will always be the staff, in particular QA. Now, in one of the games companies I worked, we had a early morning shift, an afternoon shift, and a graveyard shift. And on average per year, we turned over around 900 staff who were on temporary contracts for QA. QA was the first to go all the time. So to turn around and say now that, oh, all these QA stuff, this has been an industry problem for years. I started working in the industry in about 2007. And the amount of people that I saw going in and out. I mean, I remember at the time when I was working there, I was told, because I was on a temporary contract, all contracts were 3 monthly contracts that were extended in the games industry. No one really got a permanent contract. And I was told, if you don't accept overtime, that will reflect badly on you, and you may not have your 3-month contract extended. So whether you liked it or not, whether you had plans or not, as a QA person, your job security was nothing. Now, devs may have had a bit more job security, but this is why QA gets cut first, because they don't get permanent contracts. Now, in the case of Epic Games, they did Media Molecule dirty. They brought them in. I mean, who talks about Fall Guys anymore? I know there's a collaboration going on with Final Fantasy XIV, but do you actually hear the buzz for Fall Guys anymore like it was when it first came out? No. No one talks about it. I don't even see anyone playing it. I don't even know what it's like on Twitch right now, how many people are watching it. If someone can check that, that would be great. But I don't really see anyone even playing Fall Guys. You tried to touch grass, but you broke your wrist. So, you know, what Epic Games did to Media Molecule was dirty. They basically brought them in, onboarded all the skills, and then said, right, we can actually handle this in-house. And since we need to reduce profit, reduce revenue, you're out because we can do what you're doing. That was dirty. They didn't need to do that. The senior management could have taken a bit of a pay hit and they would have been fine. And that studio probably would have still been needed. Now, in terms of the Microsoft layoffs of the 10,000 people, that is just that boom bust, right? They employed so many people that eventually it was going to burst. Look at it. Naughty Dog cancelled Factions 2, right? Bungie came in and said, oh my God, this game is actually good. Look at it. We need to quickly tell them that this game is trash and get them to go back to the drawing board, and maybe they'll create something really, really bad. Because if they release this, Destiny 2 is over. And so they gave Sony false information. This is all me just making shit up. And the first thing they did was they got rid of all the stuff. Why isn't he talking about that? Why is it just Epic Games, Microsoft, and whoever? He's not talking about what... I mean, layoffs are always shit, right? They are always shit. But within this industry, it is as common as opening a tap and expecting water to flow through. It's sad, and it's why I left the industry. Because there is zero job security inside the games industry. There is zero loyalty in the games industry. 1 minute, you're a hero. The next minute, you're out. They don't care. It's a tech thing. 2.2k viewers? That's actually not too bad, actually. I mean, it's not what it was, but it's actually a lot more than I was expecting. But Lion's Pride, exactly.
Company is just so many thousands and thousands of employees that even when they fire 5%, that's hundreds of people that are working on games getting laid off. But okay, even beyond that, here is the reason I'm still not exactly super thrilled about this. It's not even directly because of the Microsoft deal. It's because Now, I think it's showing other companies that you can just buy a chunk of the game industry. In fact, Disney is kicking around the idea of buying Electronic Arts, which very obviously most people are not thrilled about. Disney sucks. Even if you love the MCU, even if you love Star Wars and stuff like that, look at their general output.
All right, I don't normally agree with this guy, but on that one point, I will agree with him. Disney does suck, and I do not want Disney buying EA. Disney sucks truly. But what about Embracer Group? They've been buying companies for years. He hasn't mentioned Embracer Group, or has he mentioned Embracer Group? I can't remember. But he hasn't mentioned he has mentioned Embracer Group earlier in the video. But he's not focusing on them. They just keep on buying and buying and buying and then just shut the studios down. How is that not worse than what everyone else is doing?
Disney will kill a franchise to make extra profit, right?
I hate you. I need to get YouTube Premium.
3 TV shows, 5 different movies, pretty much every single year, and a lot of them just bomb. I mean, they're churning out so many movies back to back to back to completely drown their brands. My thought is that if freaking Disney buys Electronic Arts, they're going to do that as well because they don't understand content release schedules. A company like Disney is not able to understand the fact that we enjoy great games with good polish, good scope, good pricing.
I agree, Chili.
But they need a chance to breathe. Hype a game up, release it, move on, start working on the next thing, plan it as a trilogy. I guess my thought is I do kind of agree here with Ryan McCaffrey. This would be awful for gamers because we basically lived this reality from the last 10 years when there was that 10-year exclusivity window for Star Wars games. There was almost as many canceled games as released. Disney's current model of licensing its IP to great devs everywhere is the way. And of course, a lot of people are saying like, oh, okay, well, so you like Xbox just buying up studios, but you don't like Disney buying up studios. Literally every reply is just about how, obviously these big outside studios just buying everything up. A lot of Xbox people love it when Microsoft buys everything. In fact, I'm sure there's a lot of comments on this video of people happy that Microsoft is just buying up every studio they possibly can. But I think I'm in a spot where I'm concerned about what this means in 10 years, but in the short term, what can you do? I'm trying to just guess from my own limited acumen. I hope I'm wrong. In fact, if I am wrong,
I actually have an
I'm
answer
gonna have
to
a
this.
freaking party. I would love to be wrong. I hope that everybody keeps their job. I hope that, honestly, Bobby Kotick is about to leave his position here next year. And when he's gone, I hope this means that we get better expansions for World of Warcraft, better content in Diablo. Obviously, I'm a Diablo fanatic with my big-ass necromancer tattoo. I have concerns, and I think those concerns are well-founded, but I guess we're going to see. This is a messy situation. I'm glad the deal is done because, honestly...
All right, he's not actually going to go through what his concerns are. I'll tell you what's going on right now. So, Sony is still focused on hardware. They still believe that the future is PlayStation 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, in terms of a physical hardware. Now, anyone that's forward-thinking and can kind of look to the future will tell you as the internet latency gets better, as people get, more and more people get onto the fiber network, and as long as, the US can start giving people unmetered internet, and even then, I've heard some places in the US actually don't count online gaming as a metered usage for your internet. Here in the UK, we have unlimited internet, so we actually don't have any limits on how much we use our internet for a set fee. There are metered versions, but no one really goes on there. But like our fiber connections are all unmetered. Now I play on GeForce Now, and I have almost no latency. The latency that I get from playing it on GeForce Now and on xCloud is the same as I get playing it on hardware console. If it's not, it's maybe a millisecond off, and I just don't notice it, right? I'm not that onto it to the point where I would notice it. It's the same latency I get through a wireless controller. These companies like Microsoft are building a war chest. This is why they were happy with these 10-year contracts. Because for the next 10 years, cloud gaming isn't going to be where they need it to be. Right? By the 10-year mark, it's going to begin to be where it needs to be. Right now, it's in its infancy. But after 10, 15 years, cloud gaming will be the norm. Right? All these publishers that you see will put their games onto the cloud. And so what Microsoft is doing is it's securing its war chest. It's buying Bethesda. It's buying Activision Blizzard. And it's going to keep on buying to build on that subscription. And in 10, 15 years' time, when Game Pass is $30 a month, right? But they're offering you 1,000 games from Sega, Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, Konami, Capcom on that service day one as part of the subscription service. Even at $30 a month, it will still be worth it. But hardware will be gone. So that will be your primary source of gaming. At least that's the future that Microsoft is envisioning. And I can see that future. Right now, to think that consoles won't be a thing in 15 years is unthinkable. It's unfathomable. But with the way technology is progressing, that is where it's going to be. You won't need to go out and buy a game or go online and buy a game. You can just see a game on your catalog like you do on Netflix, like you do on Game Pass right now, click it, and you're in, and you're gone. You start gaming straight away, all for a monthly subscription. That's it. And if they start making deals with like Netflix and stuff like that, and merging like a Netflix yearly contract with a Game Pass, and you save like 30% off the total value, who's going to say no? I mean, by that point, everything will be the norm. That is the future that they're seeing. Sony is trying to hold on to the hardware model because that is where they make their money. We already know that software-wise, especially first party, they don't make as much money as they want. In some cases, they barely break even. So that's why Sony is trying to cling on to the old ways of gaming. But Microsoft is looking to the future, and they kind of did what Stadia did. They started a little too early. But Stadia started way early, and they released in a state that it just wasn't ready. Now, if I used Stadia for a long time, and Stadia had the best cloud service out of all of them. Believe it or not, despite all of that stuff that you saw at the beginning where they were like, hey, look at this latency. It was in a bad state at launch. But halfway through its service, Stadia was really damn good. And in terms of just being able to access games, it was so much faster. And the quality was just so good. But they just had the wrong business model. They decided to go and tackle the console market in terms of physical sales. And that was the wrong option. It's why GeForce Now is still here. Because GeForce Now isn't competing with Xbox or Sony. They're just saying, buy your game, bring it to our service. You don't need a gaming PC. We'll give you a 4080 for 10 or $15 a month. Play as much as you want. And that is what Stadia should have done. And they could have competed with GeForce Now. But when you've got Ubisoft charging them $70 million to port Assassin's Creed, I think it was Odyssey, over to Stadia. And all it took Ubisoft, as one developer said, was one line of code. It took them 30 seconds to make that code compliant with Stadia. And they charged them $70 million for that. People abused Stadia like there was no tomorrow. And Stadia didn't really have an option but to agree to it if they wanted games. By the way, Sony has 4K 60 cloud streaming coming soon. Yeah, they did. They bought on live, right? And Gecko, wasn't it? Michael, I know. I've actually got cold sweats and stuff. I'm dating myself, but at least better than my 1440p dial-up. Yeah, PS Now launched on PS3 with Gaikai Tech. It still has tons of games. Sony didn't take it seriously. They half-assed it. PS3 games, it was their back compat. Hey, Devastator. But that's where it is. That's the vision that Microsoft has, right? And Stadia, had they have waited and held out for, say, another 2 months, they would have been offered the same deals that all these other companies were offered. And they would have taken it on board. And that could have saved Stadia. But Google being Google, they're Google, right? Then you can't trust Google to do anything. And it was for that reason that I never really bought anything. I bought a few games. They refunded all my money, which was nice of them. And I got a nice controller for it as well. And for those of you that are doubting that I've actually got Stadia, I do have Stadia. I did have it. I do have Stadia. So I was actually there playing and using it. I remember I even lent it to Tasman. I actually know Tasman really, really well. So and he tried it out as well, and he enjoyed it as well. So good stuff. But that's the vision. Cloud gaming in the future where you won't need a console. It will just all run off your TV. Obviously, you need the internet to back it up, and they're hoping that in 15 years, they will.
Talking about a business merger for 20 months was kind of exhausting at times because, let's face it, I'm about as intelligent as a ham sandwich, but I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. What do you think about the Activision Blizzard deal? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, and please, if you could, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Sometimes I just think about the fact that it's weird that in the 90s, everybody just made games. It's weird to think that Square Enix just churned out a Final Fantasy every year for years. Microsoft was making games back to back to back. Halo 1, Halo 2, Drive, what was that called? I don't know. We used to have people making games as quick as they possibly could, and now everything's so expensive. I don't know. Feels weird. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else.
All right. That's the video. That's the reaction. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I will see you in the next one. Right. That's that video. But yeah, so that's how I see that, right? That's the forward thinking that Microsoft is looking at. Microsoft is banking on cloud gaming to be the future. Hey, Devastator, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it. TheChaosLounge, imagine if full dive VR systems from AMI become real. I mean, that would be amazing. That, you know, one day we'll be able to live like Kirito and find our Asuna out there. We will one day. But like if you look at the new Quest 3, this year the new Quest 3 has mixed reality. And for those of you that don't know what that means, it basically means that with your Quest headset on, you can see your surrounding normally. It's not blocked by an OVR. So you can see everything in color. But also, you can put like a 90-inch screen in front of you. You don't need to go buy a new LCD TV or whatever. I don't know how good it's going to look on there. Obviously, it's going to have a lower resolution. But you can actually do that, right? And what that means is you can pretty much pay your Xbox controller, sit down with your headset, with a 70-inch, 80-inch, 100-inch screen in front of you, and just game. You don't even need a TV anymore. Just a VR headset will allow you to play all first-party Xbox games. Obviously, it's going to be through Wi-Fi, but it's still a mode of actually being able to game. And that's what Microsoft want. They want you to be able to game on any hardware. As long as it's got an internet connection, they want you to play on it. You know, it's like that joke that people make where if Skyrim could run on an Etch-a-Sketch, they would get it working. Or on one of those LCD screens on a fridge. It would get it working. So that is the Microsoft dream. They want you to be everywhere. $5 cash. Thank you very much, Devastator. Yes, imagine how Scarface the World is yours remake would be do nowadays. It could be an interesting GTA alternative. I mean, it could be. Scarface is massive. So if anyone is going to do that game, they need to do it justice. My fear with that is that they would have to respect the license too much. I think if they do a Scarface but don't follow the movies but do their own thing, I think that would be really cool. That could actually be a GTA contender. Although GTA spent $2 billion on their game, so there's a lot of money there. But thank you very much for that super chat, my dude. Series X is my first ever Xbox. What a time to join them. It is indeed a good time to join them. More ways for gamers to play games on any device of choice. If we could get 5G around here, I could play my games on my phone through Steam Link. Yes, you could. Yes, you could. I actually, through my PC, because sometimes my kids are playing like Roblox on my PC and stuff, or they're just doing their stuff. So through Steam Link, I actually have it hooked onto my TV, and it's great. I can play PC games. Although most of the time I'm actually using, what is it? GeForce Now on there. 49 folks watch, 30 likes, hit that like button. Thank you very much, Chili, for that £2 super chat. I appreciate you. Quest can play Game Pass now, I think, or coming soon. It's coming soon. I know Quest 3 is going to be able to do it at launch, and I'm really tempted to buy it now because I've got the Quest 1 and 2. Thinking of just trading them into Computer Exchange and picking up a free. I'm really tempted to chat. I'm really tempted. I've been with Xbox since the OG. Mate, it's really funny because I remember buying my first Xbox, the original OG at launch, 300. I think it was like £300, something like that. I brought it home. And that thing was huge. That thing was massive. It was a supercomputer. And I remember that first green splash screen that came up. And the first game I ever played on there was Halo. And I was blown away. It was like the best thing I had ever seen. And yeah, I mean, I've been drawn into, the Halo, the Gears franchises since then. And even the bad Halo games, I still thoroughly enjoy. Because that's what I, experienced next-gen gaming with. They could go the route of Tony Montana as a mentor character helping a rookie. Yeah, they could easily do that. That would actually be perfect. Before he died, of course. And before anyone says spoilers, that movie is old. Chaos, what games would you like to be brought back from ABK? Guitar Hero, definitely one of them. I'd actually like a proper Spyro game. I like my platform games. I think StarCraft would be good. Maybe even a Warcraft game. I'm not really a Tony Hawk's fan, so that's not for me. You know what? Let's just have a quick look and see what other games did Activision. What's the full list of ABK games that they make? All games. All. I know someone put it somewhere. Wait, someone actually put it somewhere, right? I remember seeing it. It was Jeff Keighley, I think it was. in terms of the IP. I think it was him. Here we go. So from this list, I think a new Crash would be nice. Like, I like playing, I've got kids, right? So these games would be really cool for me to play with my kids. This one would be enough to give me a high blood pressure. This one would be good if done correctly. StarCraft and Warcraft would be really good for those people that are looking forward to it. I think if they actually revisited Skylanders and did it right with the toys, that could be enormous for Microsoft. Prototype is another one that I'd like to see. True Crime is another one, actually, that would be nice to come back as well. This list looks really small, though. Is that all Activision Blizzard make? That list looks a lot smaller than I thought it would be. You know, I still got my original Xbox upstairs in my cupboard. It is modified, but I still have it. I think I've still got my 360 up there as well. No Red Ring of Death. WoW and stuff, because I should be moving. Hopefully, touch wood. Hopefully in the next few months, if the stars align and fortune favors me, I should be moving. And when I do, I'm actually going to take all of those consoles out and all of my memorabilia out, because I got tons of like statues and stuff that I literally can't put anywhere in this room, because it's just so small. It's going to be nice designing that room overall. I'm just going to have all like my console set up. I think the issue with our consoles is mod support. That could be a thing. Zork, I don't remember that game, honestly. I really don't. Tenchu would be good. Prototype 3, please. My first foray into Blizzard games was Burning Crusades and WoW. I mean, I started playing, my first MMO was Final Fantasy XI. I tried WoW at the time, but as someone who prefers Final Fantasy games, let me just put this fan higher. Oh, that's better. As someone who's a Final Fantasy fan, Final Fantasy XI just appealed more to me. Low in my face. Nope, that was totally taken out of context, chat. Do not clip that or anything. So Final Fantasy XI appealed more to me at the time. And to this day, I think Final Fantasy XI, to me personally, is probably the greatest MMO of all time. Because back in those days, MMOs were different. And back in those days, when you played an MMO, it isn't like you play MMOs today. You kind of jump in, do your raid, do your dailies, and you leave. You didn't have dailies back then. When you jumped in, you were going to make money, or you're going to farm for key items, or you were hanging about, you was grouping up with a bunch of friends and just going out XPing for hours and just chatting away. Just having a good time. Now it's all like objective based. Back then, MMOs used to be like a second life, a second world, a second kind of existence. Who I was in the MMO world wasn't who I was in this, in where I am now in the real world. You don't get that experience with the current MMOs. Like, I recently went back to Final Fantasy XIV. I absolutely love that game, and I would forever recommend that game to anyone. It's coming to Xbox in sometime in October. Absolutely check it out. It is going to be free to play until they officially launch, so the beta will be free to play. Check it out. It's a phenomenal game. Just make sure you get past A Realm Reborn. A Realm Reborn is still a little slow, so if you do start it, just keep pushing until you get to Heavensward, is my advice. When you get to Heavensward, you will be blown away. Like, seriously. But you never get that MMO feel anymore, because doing stuff that requires 18 to 30 people just isn't what today needs, because everyone is so busy. Back then, it wasn't the case. But to me, 11 will forever be the greatest MMO of all time. And if I could find 6 people or 12 people to go back and actually play that game properly, I would go back in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, there's not as many crazy people out there as me, so it creates a problem. Do we have to look at Pizza Face? I've removed Pizza Face. Unless you're talking about me, then yes, you do have to look at me. Lots of quest titles there. I have a 360 still. No, maybe StarCraft. We need StarCraft 3. Why did that skip along? Xbox does now own Tenchu, yes. Star Trek games, mate, if they actually made a good, solid Star Trek game, I am all for it. I am a massive Trekkie, right? I know some of you may not like this, but Trekkie, Star Trek, is better than Star Wars. I said it. None of you unsubscribe. If you do, I totally didn't mean it. They are making new games. Activision Blizzard IPs. Plenty of publicity. We need an MMO of StarCraft. I have modded OG Xbox 2. The things you can do with it is sick. It was, man. At the time, it was crazy. Swapping out hard drives and everything. It was like a mini PC. Soldier of Fortune was... I think they actually did remake that, and it did poorly. And that just, comes on to the next point. Everyone wants to see Conker's Bad Third, Conker sequel and stuff like that. And I think the developers came out and said, if we made this game today, no one would buy it. And I kind of agree with them. Certain games, people just won't buy. They were good back in the day, just not today. First MMO was Lineage, Vigilante series, True Crime, given the full budget and team could be. Did they ever make a small game after COD like George Lucas never made a 90-minute film? 360 was awesome. Guildmaster there. Oh, you're still playing well. Good. X-Men games would be good. Mine was World of Warcraft many years ago. Did you just get... No, I said don't clip it. You don't need to clip it. That is so out of context, it's not even funny. I didn't know Activision owned Tenchu. They do. TheChaosLounge, Microsoft could resurrect StarCraft Ghost and cancelled FPS. Yeah, they could. If they really want to. Expect the beta in December, January, is my guess. Didn't they say October though, Chile? It would be great for StarCraft Ghost. I would love to see that too. Chaos, I'm such a huge ABK fan, but one thing that's annoyed me is that some of the games I don't realize, like Hearthstone, Gabriel Knight, Pitfall, Tenchu Zork. Yep. Oh, bad. ID. You mean ID Software? I had to leave the first time because I worked up a £600 phone bill. Second time was for Classic. Oh yeah, don't use mobile data to play games. Yeah. That reminds me of someone playing mobile data. We had in our static in Final Fantasy 14, we had someone that was raiding with us using their mobile phone as their internet connection. I think they were on 4G. And it was really funny because we'd do like a world boss. And then we'd sit there watching her fighting the world boss that is dead. And or even when we went into Labyrinth of the Ancients, it's like a 24-man raid. Everything would be dead. And she'd be there asking us, where are we going, as we're all running away. And we're like, the boss is dead. And she goes, no, it's not. I'm still fighting it. And she'd be fighting for the next 5 minutes. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, but there's nothing there. You're fighting for nothing. Yeah, so don't do it on mobile data. Not on 4G anyway. StarCraft MMO could work during the first game after the second. Maybe. Heretic. Don't go there. Don't go where? Don't go where? You know Star Trek is better than Star Wars. Matt unsubscribes. Bro, it's obvious Star Trek is better. There we go. Michael knows. I've only ever seen the new Star Trek films. The Star Trek films were decent as well. I enjoyed them for what they were, right? For what they were, I enjoyed them. They weren't great, but for what they were, I enjoyed them. I think people these days overanalyze movies too much. They're just a form of entertainment. Just sit down, watch it. Don't try to scrutinize it. Just enjoy the movie. Movies are never going to be canonical. I like Star Wars, but I like Star Trek, but I love Star Wars. Brit, we need to have a talk. You know where my Discord is. Yet people bought ukulele. FromSoft owned Tenchu, I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that ABK owned the legacy title, Tenchu 1, 2, and 3, but they don't own the IP. They own the publishing rights to the IP, which means if they're going to be published, it goes Activision publish it. Talking about mass unsub, I said now the deal is done. Do you think everyone will unsub from Destin? No, I don't think they will. I think he actually makes good content. And the guy genuinely is a nice guy. He's quite fair in what he does. You know, he's called out Xbox when he needs to call out Xbox. He calls out Sony when he needs to call out Sony. As far as IGN are concerned, I think Destin is probably one of the most... if we're saying Xbox is left and Sony is right, I'd say they're as center as you're going to get, but I'd say he's more center left than center right. But I think he's actually quite fair in his assessments. And when he does make a mistake, even though someone within his position really shouldn't be making those mistakes, he does actually own up to it and apologize. It might not be what people want to hear, but he does do it. And I think he's all right. No, they say that the beta is in 6.5x, which is October, June. Whenever expansions come out, I am going to guess beta will go live around the same time pre-orders do. Maybe, but they kind of want to get the beta out the way so they can start, getting people on the subservice. Yeah, I meant to say I would be a great company to revive Starfield. Yep, ID would be. That way, Xbox players can pre-order Dawn Trail and get all the expansions up to Dawn Trail. Man, Endwalker really did kick people in the balls, didn't it? It was great that they finished the story at 6.0, but man, anything that came after 6.0 was just drizzle. Only use mobile data if you have unlimited, of course. Of course, Stephanie. Stop lying. I never lie. It's like Brian McClough said, Lycos. We can sit and discuss this one-to-one. And I'm happy to listen to all your grievances in regards to the Star Trek and Star Wars, discussion. And you can get your point across as much as you want. But eventually we'll come to the conclusion that I was right. It might take a while to get there, but we will come to that conclusion that I was right. Let's imagine if you could play World of Warcraft on your console. I think you'll be able to. I think that's going to happen. Whether the subscription will be fully free or whether there's going to be an a Game Pass Ultimate Warcraft edition is another matter. When Destin uploaded that message back, then he apologized. MMO could have the hybrids as the main villain. Because I can't remember, did ABK make a Wolverine game? I don't think so. Making movies and TV series isn't easy in the long run, and people tend to scrutinize them. I mean, some TV series are just bad, right? They are awful. Really awful. The new Halo series, barring maybe 2-3 episodes, was complete dog shit. And I can watch almost anything, but that was just god awful. Right? Like I will. If a series is bad, I will say it. But like, did any of you not watch that movie, Resident Evil: Return to Raccoon City? Like Taz, for example, he absolutely loves that movie, and I know a lot of others do as well because of how symbolic it is with how it recreated that Resident Evil 2 vibe. I personally think that movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The best part of that movie was the cow at the end getting blown away. But again, don't clip that out of context. But Taz loved that movie. He said it's one of the greatest movies he's ever seen. Destin is fine. I've seen a lot of his videos. I mean, I can only dream to be as successful as Destin, right? That guy spiraled. I mean, of course, he's got a much bigger platform than me, but to hit 100k subs would be like the godliest of godliest dreams, right? I'm wondering when salty ponies are going to start arriving. I'm actually surprised that none have actually entered yet. Do you watch IGN Unlocked? Only a few times. I haven't really watched it religiously. Hey, I am a Sony fanboy and I have been here this entire time. Chill, I didn't read you. X-Men Origins Wolverine was done by Activision. There we go, there's one. Chilled. It's chilly, not chilled. The owner on Xbox, no. Yeah? Huh? Sorry, guys, 1 second. I'll be right back. Apparently something's happening right there. What's up? Oh, sorry about that, chat. Sorry about that. That was interesting. A small little mouse in the house, and my cat is trying to catch it. And it was right in front of him, and he still couldn't see it. I think we need a new cat. Welcome to Raccoon City Sucked. Taz is a special kind of sauce. I mean, he enjoyed Dragon Ball movie as well. I mean, that should say everything. Deadpool was done by Activision also. They also paid the dev team to have it get a low Metacritic score. Really? Really? Why would they pay the dev team to do that? I hope X-Men Legends gets released on Game Pass. We've all met Taz. Is that unsubscriber? A lot of movie and TV series based on games that do bad is usually because they stray away from what made the game so good. Oh, if they want to call me the ancestor to Frieza from a Bardock special too, I'll accept Shield. Try working on a TV series based on a novel. That explains most of the stuff. I hate the rest. Oh, I am not offended, don't worry. Yep, I've known him for a long time. Chaos is a wonderful person and lucky to have him as a friend. Oh, thanks, Chili. The sentiments are likewise. And that's why you should all subscribe to his channel as well if you like Final Fantasy style content or podcasts. They do amazing stuff. I'm hoping to actually one day jump onto his podcast, so that will also be a great segue for you all to come and see me just making a menace of myself on his podcast. One day. Stop spreading lies. Why Dragon Ball movie? I mean, you're the one that said you loved it. I didn't say anything. I'm innocent in this. Where was the thing I was looking for? Was it here? Bro got that joint Prime delivery next day. This is the thing, right? He's a PlayStation fanboy. And apparently, he must have had this stashed away somewhere, ready to go. Hey, Lions Pride, that would be awesome. Just hit me up. That gear looks new, like you went out this morning and got it. Didn't keep the same energy, huh? It's like Marlon Gaming. What happened to the good old coffee? How did Mans have a fit ready to go? Even Amazon not that. Next day delivery times continue. What's going on? People are jumping ship already. I also have the Instagram video. Welcome to the Cloud Show is what he should have said. The trolling I've seen on Twitter today has me dying. I mean, it's been quite funny actually today. For what I've seen anyway. He is a turncoat like so many. Oh man, it's been a... Have you seen the one with Alex and Andrea? How Alex just... I mean, he has to take the L at that point because that was pretty awful. That guy's been falling apart, right? He's been getting so many things just wrong. Did anyone see that video by Lulu? Did anyone see the new video by Lulu? I think it's so cool. Yeah, let's check it out. Such a good video. I mean, I remember these games.
Write video games.
This is pretty much where I started gaming.
Blizzard had that incredible vision and passion and commitment to excellence that was the hallmark of what we had created at Activision.
If you studied the mobile market from its infancy, as it exploded, King was there throughout the entire time.
Together, we would have the most successful entertainment company in the world and all the resources to ensure that our audience would get the very best. They were crafted lovingly by people who deeply cared about the games that they were creating.
We had no sense at all
Thanks, Taz.
how poised the world was to just embrace gaming.
He said, Taz, as you like Dragon Ball
It was a staggering
Evolution.
thought. And
I mean, it's a really nicely put together video.
The future is for us to shape.
Plus Xbox. I like that video. I do. But where is the salt? I'm not seeing the salt anywhere. I want to see some of that. PlayStation fanboys, Game Pass prices going to increase because of this Activision deal. Don't be mad if it becomes $20. Xbox fans.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care. Jerry, I'm here to
You know what? I agree. We don't care. I mean, the price increasing is inevitable, right? It's gonna go up. I think they have gone into hiding. Wow, I just cancelled a pre-order to a game that was just bought out by my favorite company's competitor. Look, guys, look, I'm taking a moral high ground, even though I'll end up buying it again and say it was gifted. I got receipts. Oh, he's mocking people. He's mocking them. So this guy here is he's a PlayStation fanboy, right? But he's actually quite neutral in the PlayStation fanboyism. He has an Xbox, he has Game Pass, and though he prefers to buy physicals on PlayStation, he's quite happy with Game Pass. Josh, do you realize what you just wrote? I mean, you flatter me. You flatter me, but do you realize what you just... Is it the beard? Oh, no worries, dude. No worries. Like I said. You're good, Josh. You're good. Feel free to have a good night's rest, my dude. Too much champagne. In a few years, everyone will be Game Pass because the library will be so enormous. It will be, Beyond. It will be. $20 is better than $70 per game. It is. And about a year ago, I was talking to one of my colleagues at work because he calls me Shieldbox because how much I defend Game Pass. Dude, do not apologize. I thought it was quite funny. But have a good night, dude. Don't worry. I'm fully ready for it. But we had that discussion for about a year ago, talking about how Game Pass was going to increase to $15, $16, $17, and I told him even at $20, it's still worth it. I tend to buy games outright, having over 1K games, and never know what to play. Yeah, that's a lot of games. I used to be on that level with previous consoles, not the recent generations though. I am going to review Assassin's Creed Mirage though. Like I said, I got into the Ubisoft Content Creators Program, so that is one of the games they actually offered me to review as an entry level, so that is kind of cool. But Lords of Fallen is a little disappointing. Hopefully they manage to fix that. The US federal The US FTC said on Friday it remained focused on its appeal opposing Xbox maker Microsoft's now closed $69 billion deal to buy Activision, but would assess the company's agreement with Ubisoft. Microsoft and Activision's new agreement with Ubisoft presents a whole new facet to the merger that will affect American consumers, which the FTC will assess as part of its ongoing administrative proceeding, added spokeswoman Victoria Graham. The FTC continues to believe this deal is a threat to competition. Now the US remains the only regulator in the world to still be on this fight. The leader can't be like, don't stop believing. It's bad. I do not have UB Plus on Xbox. I think the price that they charge for UB Plus is silly. Lies of P is a remarkable game. I really recommend it. Seriously. It's a sleeper game. Seriously, it's a really good game, and I can't recommend it enough. It's actually the first Souls game I've actually enjoyed. No, Stephanie, what they're going to do is look at the appeal decision. They're going to look at it and say, okay, Ubisoft's thing has eased our concerns and we're going to be okay with it. That's all I can see them doing. Why? 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 I decided to watch Dreamcast Guy's video and it froze on this frame. Yep. But isn't she elected by Joe Biden? Her position is elected by the president, is it not? I mean, that's what I've heard. Her position was elected via the president. And if that is the case, I mean, we already know that Joe Biden doesn't like Microsoft because of how big they are. And the fact that, in all honesty, I think Microsoft has more power than the president of the United States. So I think, all of this is coming from Joe himself. I think Joe Biden's the one that's actually telling her what to do. The whole Lies of P is based on Pinocchio. It's just a twisted form of Pinocchio. It's just in a kind of alternate universe dimension. It's got the loose strings of, how Pinocchio was a puppet and he was created by the dude. And it's kind of loosely based around the principles of what Pinocchio was. I'm surprised we haven't seen anyone come in. Calling all content creators, don't scream. Oh, we're two indie devs making a horror game called Don't Scream, built in Unreal Engine 5. You need a microphone to play, and if you scream, you restart. There's a catch. Time only moves if you do, and you can't predict the scares. This could be interesting. Let me bookmark that, because I might contact them, see if I can do something for Halloween. That sounds interesting. PlayStation trophies are coming. Sony is edging more and more towards PC. Soon PC is going to be the ultimate place to play all games. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Look, just open the door. If it's in the slipper, Literally take his head out, close the top of the thing so he can't get out. Huh? Then just pick up the cat and the slipper. Look, you've got options. Just make sure the door is open. Throw it out. It's really simple. It's not gonna, because you can close the head and you can't get out. It'll run out and then you can just take my slipper and bring it back in. That works too. Kids. I think the ponies are coming out tomorrow. People each have their own concept of what makes a good game. It's all subjective. I thoroughly enjoy it personally. What game is that? Baldur's Gate 3 is an acquired taste. If you're an old school PC gamer, tabletop gamer, you will absolutely love Baldur's Gate. If you are not one of those things, then it's going to be difficult to get into. I heard the learning, the actual curve to enjoy is steeper. If you are looking to try and get into those games, I would highly recommend you check out Divinity 2, Sin. They actually have their barrier to entry is so much more easier, and they are fantastic games. They are fantastic games, and they're dirt cheap now as well, so easily maybe something you want to check out. I think you can get like Divinity or Divinity 2. I mean, you can get both of them combined now for like really, really cheap. I'm gonna be honest, the only thing I care about this Activision Blizzard deal is playing Crash Bandicoot 4 on Game Pass, as I played and finished Insane Trilogy and CTR Neutral Guild years ago, and I don't care about buying Crash 4 anytime soon. And this is what I mean. Can you imagine like if Skylanders was released, and then these characters? I know Spyro is already in there, but you can now add like Crash and Halo into it as well. It's insane. It's just instant cash grab, right? What platform do you prefer to support creators that you enjoy? I support them on anything. Anything that I can see, whether it's subbing to them like I do on Chili's channel, or dropping a couple of super chats elsewhere. Stop looking for validation for your opinions and preferences and things. Right, this one here is interesting, right? Quantum Error. So the developers say that this game will not be coming to Xbox soon. It's because of the SSD. I think it's horseshit, personally. But it is what it is. But I do think Microsoft needs to start stepping up their game in terms of utilizing their tools and hardware. Because if they're not using it, then why should anyone else? And I think, I know I said this before, and a lot of people got upset with that statement, but they kind of do need to use it. Game of the year so far, if remakes count, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Resident Evil 4 was good, Starfield, Final Fantasy 16. My problem with Final Fantasy 16 is that the frame rate is all over the place, and 30 FPS just doesn't work well on my monitor. It's Stutter City. So, because of the frame rate, I'm struggling to finish it because it literally gives me motion sickness. And I'm really upset with that because I'm a massive Final Fantasy fan. And I'm very close to finishing every single Final Fantasy mainline game. But that one has eluded me so far. I'm playing for it very, very slowly. I prefer YouTube as it's always what I've been on. See, here's the thing with YouTube, right? A lot of creators prefer to go to Twitch. I know Kick is like the best in terms of monetary revenue, but their practices are so immoral and just screwed up that I just don't think I could go there. I just have too much of a higher moral ground to do something stupid like that. But here's the thing. YouTube for a creator can be very profitable. Number one, it's where your audience is because they're watching your videos, so they get notifications of your stream. Happy days. But when you stream on YouTube, you make close to nothing. No money at all. At all. Unless people super chat or, join your membership program, you literally make no money when you're streaming unless you're hitting that 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 viewer number. If you're hitting like 50 to 100, you can stream for 10 hours and you'll only make about maybe £1, which is about what? $1.30. Really isn't worth it, right? Now, if you do that on Twitch, because of the forced adverts that are now in play, which sucks for viewers because no one wants to watch ads like we just saw. Well, the problem you have there is that you actually make money off those ads. And so for a creator, even if they're not getting those Twitch Prime subs, they're still making 15, 20, 25 bucks depending on how much they stream just through ad revenue with that small viewership number. So I think more people would go to YouTube if the ad revenue was greater that they were earning and weren't so reliant on super chats and memberships to kind of make streaming on YouTube worthwhile. I do it because I just find YouTube streaming okay. Plus, a lot of my audience is on YouTube, but it's also why I stream on Twitch. Like, I stream 1 day a week here. But before I actually fell ill, I streamed like 2 to 3 days over at Twitch. If I was making a lot of money over here, then I'd probably stream more at YouTube. But at the end of the day, it's a business. Well, it's a hobby and a business. Time is money, so you kind of have to look at it from both angles. Yes, I'd like to predominantly always stream here, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Do you think there's a parrot? Let's see. What Soul Calibur came out in 2025, 26? 2005. What? E-machines at the time? Oh, was you? Nice. Which one came out? Probably Soul Calibur 4, I think. Yeah, because I think Soul Calibur 1 was on the Dreamcast back in 1999. So Soul Calibur 4 or 5 would be where you want to be. Do you think there's a parity clause with PlayStation? Yes. There is. That's already been confirmed. But these parity clauses ain't nothing new. Xbox has them with Sony. Sony has them with Xbox. But in the case of Xbox, it's actually hurting them a lot because when they're not utilizing SFS, PFP, direct storage, if they're not utilizing these, which are all part of the Velocity architecture, you're basically missing out on about 20% performance from your console. So that extra horsepower that they actually have on the Xbox is not being used. Now, this could be for obviously the parity clause is one of the reasons, but the other reason could be that it's just because there isn't enough game sales, people are going on Game Pass. That could also be another reason. I mean, there could be a wealth of reasons, but Microsoft needs to go to these third-party companies and tell them, look, you need to start using this tech. We built it for a reason. And what Microsoft needs to do is show them that if you use this software, like we are doing with our first-party games, just look at the difference in performance, the graphical fidelity. We can hit that 2K 60 FPS, no problem. It doesn't have to be 4K. And we can get loading through SFS, PFP, and direct storage better than PlayStation. Why wouldn't you want to use this tech? Why would you want to handicap the games that are coming over to us? Microsoft needs to be more forward with that stuff. The devs of Quantum Error come off as heavily biased in general, and their game looks like it's a PS2 game, to be honest. The devs are heavily biased. The devs are secretly hoping that Sony reaches out and offers to buy them. I've said this day one. I know a lot of people don't believe me, but that is day one. I've been saying that since they started console warring themselves. I mean, which developers actually console wars, right? If you want to sell your game on all platforms, why would you console war? It doesn't make any sense at all. It's just a COD deal Sony signed as they didn't care about anything else. I have both a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel. Yeah. It's just a matter of where you want to stream and where your audience is willing to go to. People seem to really, really hate Twitch. I can understand why, but like on my other YouTube channel that I have, where I play an anime game called Tower of Fantasy, at times I get like 50 viewers, 45 viewers, 40 viewers. But if I actually go over and stream on Twitch, only about 10 of them will come over. The others refuse to come over and watch it over at Twitch. So it's really a cat and mouse game. Is there a chance Microsoft could purchase Ubisoft, or would it be blocked? They can purchase Ubisoft. Just the division that controls the cloud would be divested and kept separately. At least for the next 15 years. I used to get paid, the Logan Paul messed everything up. Oh? What do you mean? That's interesting. I've heard rumors that Microsoft could possibly be helping Nintendo with their next Switch. Supposedly it might be at Xbox One PS4 strength. I don't know if Microsoft are helping them. I don't think they really need help. But in terms of performance, that is what I've heard as well. What do you get watch time here per vid? I actually don't know. It really varies. But it really depends on the ads you watch. Like, for example, for a what was that? That must be Twitch. Yeah. Thank you very much for that, Twitch. Hello. I think for like a 2,000 views video, you can make like maybe £2. So this one over here got 5,000 views. No estimated value yet. This one got 3,900. So this one made £20. Something like this made £7. So it's all little, but if you like get like a massive video that makes like this 17,000 view one, the one where I took the piss out of MBG, once you start hitting these numbers and you know you start getting like lots of engagement in comments, the likes as well, all of that counts, I reckon. But you can see it made a bit more money. But then you got stuff like this, which I spent hours making this review, got no views at all. and this will probably make about 10p. But it all depends on the watch time, right? Like this one here, I lost 2 subscribers because people were so upset, but it made like £8. And that one actually has, this one has less views than this one. So it really depends on just how much they actually watch the video. So it's only 1.6k, but it's made less than the other one. So hopefully that answers your question. I mean, it's not enough to quit my job and go full time, if that makes sense. The dream is to go full time making content, but I'd need to be bringing home around, give or take, $3,000 a month, and my monthly income right now is nowhere near that. I wonder how many games have been ruined because PlayStation bias. Quite a lot, probably. Bring back Microsoft Train Simulator, goddammit. Train Simulator. Don't forget, Sony owns Evo, but I don't know if COD is still in Evo, though. I don't think it really matters. I don't think Sony would ever remove COD. Hello on Twitch. I'm not worried about making money on any given platform. I just want to entertain. It's a bit of both for me. I kind of, I've always wanted to do this full time, but obviously I'm not going to quit my day job until there's enough revenue coming in to kind of equal what I'm earning in my day job, because my day job drives me absolutely mentally insane. I'm not worried about making money on TheChaosLounge. Have you seen Cute Anime Girl versus Disgruntled Old Man? It shows DSP being bad at Legend of Zelda. No, I haven't. I'll check that out at some point. It used to be you get paid once you reached 1,000 views, and then Logan showed a body in... Yeah, I saw that. They've actually changed that 4,000 hours now. It's 2,000 hours. You don't get as much revenue. You don't get the full chunk of the revenue at 2,000 hours, but it still gives you something. It's a new thing that they introduced earlier this year. Ah, I see, Lion. If you're working, I mean, I'm working up from from home at the moment, but my day is usually filled with having to be QA, project manager, account manager, because the people where I work are just incompetent. Still an easier job than what I have to deal with on a daily basis. What's this? Oh, a bunch of follows. Nice. All infinity gems are mine, and I am God right now. Be wary of shortcuts to knowledge of... Man, they are hurting. They are hurting. They are hurting. Oh, boys! Boys! Shall we listen to this? Shall we listen to Lono? Reforger Gaming? What advice would you say to an upcoming content creator like myself? Simple. Pick one game or one field that you want to go to. Don't try to diversify. YouTube hates it if you're looking to make content on YouTube. If you're it likes you to focus in one area and one area only. If you try to diversify, it won't recommend that content to other people. Like, I'm pretty sure that review I put out for Eternites, 90% of the people didn't even get a notification. So pick a field that you're happy with, comfortable in making content, and focus on that. Number 2, look at what's out there. Look at what's trending based on that game or whatever you're looking at. And try to capitalize on the big news, on the big moments. Also, if you're following a game, I'm going to just use a game as an example. Look at what's already out there and try to make content that is evergreen. What does evergreen mean? Evergreen means content that is useful now and will be useful 2 years down the line. So if someone starts that game 2 years down the line and they go searching, there's a chance they'll find your content. Try not to make your videos too long. When you first start, make it around 3 to 5 minutes per video. Do not go for 8 minutes. At the moment, when you start, you're not earning anything. And don't kind of force the video longer than it needs to be. Even if you are like at the point where you're partnered, if the video is done at 5 minutes, just let it be done. I see a lot of people adding a lot of waffle, a lot of rubbish. Unless you've got, stuff to talk about that can extend the video, just end it. The last thing people want to do is watch a video where you spend 5 minutes waffling and 5 minutes of content. Make sure when you're first starting off, you get straight to the point and you're concise and you're delivering that information, because people like that. And after a while, as you get more confident, then you can start bringing in more content to pad it out. But obviously relevant content to the actual video. Make sure you get a good mic. The mic is really important. My room here kind of sucks. There's a little bit of an echo. I can't really do anything about it. But the mic and the camera make the world of difference. A little bit of spotlight as well, as people will tell you when I first started was pretty trash. I got a light, it makes the world of difference. So a good mic will always be good. I use the Blue Yeti, a really basic mic. I am looking to upgrade eventually, but this is a great starter mic. Devastator 100%. But yeah, so if you kind of follow that step and then just make sure you're tweeting your content out and, make sure you've got your content out in as much places as possible. Be it Threads, Twitter, even if you don't have any followers, someone may still see it, right? But the biggest thing is to make sure when you're starting out new, follow the trend for that. Like, if you see a new update come out for said game, jump on that straight away. Be one of the first to get that content out. Don't listen to what people say, where they say it doesn't matter when you get your content out. It 100% matters when you get your content out, right? I was late today. Let's see. Look at this video here, right? It's made 4K views, right? And this one over here made 6K views. This one I released quite late, but not overly late. It was still relevant at the time. This one I released about 5-6 hours late. It killed, right? It killed the video. Because by the time I managed to... Wait, what? Okay, right, here's a perfect example. This video should have done so much better than what it is now. But because I released it so late, the video just didn't do well. The timing is everything. The notion that, it doesn't matter if whenever you release the video, people will watch it, it's not true. I know people say that, but it's not true. You need to kind of be on it and release it so it's, it's relevant at the time. I could have sworn this one just had its views removed though. So timing is everything, but just keep an eye on the trends. It's really important because that will dictate a lot of things for your channel going forward. I hope that's been of. I hope that advice is good. And just the other thing I will say, using B-roll is fine in terms of footage for what you're trying to do. If it's for a game, try to make the footage that you're looking at relevant to what you're talking about. Just having random footage on there. If you're talking about like a review and just generalizing comments, that's fine. But if you're talking about something specific, try to match the video to what you're saying, if it's possible, because that will help keep the viewer engaged. If you're talking about the skill tree and you're showing a boss battle, it kind of loses that focus. But if you're talking about the skill tree and what works and what doesn't work, then the viewer that's watching can see the skill tree and can see what you're talking about and understand where you're coming from. So context is everything. But other than that, just get the content out there and make sure your thumbnail is good. I cannot express enough how important thumbnails are. They are insanely important. Because, right, when you do this, let's just say we're going to go Sega. The average person will go like this and look for a thumbnail that just speaks out to them. This one caught my attention, right? That one instantly caught my attention because I like Final Fight, but that caught my attention. None of these other ones are catching my attention. Like these thumbnails here, no real interest. Make sure that the thumbnail is really catchy and it stands out, because you only have about 2 seconds at most to be able to capture someone's interest. Most people, like this one here, Dreamcast 2, that captured my interest straight away, right? It's really important that you have a catchy headline and a good thumbnail. My thumbnails aren't great, as some of you have noticed. And honestly, when I first started making content, I jumped on at the time when ABK News was really big, and that really helped because I was basically staying up until 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, making the content and releasing it. Obviously in the US that was like 6-7 p.m. in the evening, but because that's when the news would pretty much get fired by that point, by 1 a.m. it would be finalized for the day. I quickly collated that information, went through Florian's stuff, and released a video. Some of them were like 20 minutes long, but a lot of people were really interested at the time in the ABK news. And, a lot of people have stuck on with me, which I'm extremely grateful for. And the channel has grown. Between the ABK news and Starfield, I shot straight to 5k subs in no time at all. It's kind of stagnated now, so I'm looking for that next big thing to be able to bring in more subs. But obviously, it's going to have its highs and lows. But if you see that piece of news for that content that you're doing, that, you need to make a video right now, don't put it off. As you saw with that 1,700 views, it really does make the world of difference. And as long as you're getting your point across in a clear, concise manner, your mic is good, your audio is good, the picture quality is good, you're not doing it at 720p or at 480p, but you're doing it at 1080p at the very minimum. I wouldn't go 4K right now, especially if you're just starting new. Then you're good. I think at that point, you will start to it will start to slowly take off as people see your content. Don't forget, when I first found Angry Joe when he first opened up, my dude didn't. When I started watching him, he didn't even have 5,000 subs. But he put out the world of effort into his videos, and I really liked him. And through word of mouth, the guy's got over 3 million subs now. So the world's your oyster. As Arnold Schwarzenegger says in his new book, if you want to succeed, you need to put the effort in. And sometimes that isn't enough. You do need a bit of luck with YouTube, because the algorithm will, screw you 7 ways till Sunday. But as long as you can find that one product, that one niche that you enjoy, and you can make content that you believe in, that you are passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about that content, I can tell you straight up, everyone that's watching you will see that you hate what you're doing. And they'll stop watching you after a while. You need to believe in a product. Like, on my other channel, I really like playing Genshin Impact. And, sorry, I hit the mic. I really like playing Honkai Star Rail. But I just don't enjoy making content for those games. I just don't. And when I started making content for them, my views crashed. Because people could see I just didn't have it in me. When my kids started making content based on those games, the views started to rise again until they got bored of making content. But, being excited and enthusiastic about what you're talking about is absolutely paramount. Don't fake it, because they will see it and they will leave. And you only have one chance to impress people. Otherwise, they just go. Just join my Discord. My Discord name is KelsPrimeZYT. Just send me a mail, dude. Work on getting like 500 views a video. And once you can hit that point, like a small thing that I did for a while, especially with the Xbox videos, was asking for a like challenge. I haven't done that in a while, but you can see the difference in me not asking for likes and asking for likes, right? Let me just show you. I had a lot of people criticizing me, a lot of people like moaning at me. People even sent me hate messages on Discord because of the like challenges that I was putting in, right? But these are the like challenges that I was putting in. You can see the difference, right? And then I stopped doing them for a while. And as you can see, 80, 119, 140, outside of the ABK one, it's barely breaking the 300 mark. All right, let's check this out. This. Oh, that was chilly. All right.
But what's the? See, I don't understand the people that fight that and say that. Are they mad that God of War is exclusive and Spider-Man's exclusive, or is that okay?
Well, the difference there would be is those are not long-standing franchises that were multi-platform. That's the frustration.
Doesn't matter anymore though. They're owned by the thing, and it's years later. You're talking about Elder Scrolls 6 that's coming out 3-4 years from now, right? That's a full production term, underneath Xbox. So that's like, let's just say it's built underneath Xbox entirely now. So what's the difference?
Well, the difference is, again, it's an existing franchise, so I think in their mind the complaint is different. It would be like saying, man, I loved it when I had Netflix and I could watch The Office, and then The Office gets ripped off of Netflix and goes to Peacock, right?
Yeah, but Spider-Man was an existing franchise, and they just remade it, and then it's only exclusive on PlayStation.
But that was because the rights owners were shopping for somebody to make it. That, again, was different, because that wasn't
How is it different?
Long-standing game like Elder Scrolls or Call of...
Wait. How is it different? Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait. So, Xbox, The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. Where is it? I could have sworn 10 best Spider-Man games. Alright. So I was right. Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man, The Shattered Dimension, Spider-Man, Edge of Time. And these were all Activision, so we're about to get Spider-Man games on Xbox. Nice, nice. So what the fudge is he talking about? Oh, it's those are pre-existing games, not like Spider-Man. What is this then? What is that?
Duty where it's always been everywhere, and now it's only going to be on one platform. So I think it's different. Like Spider-Man and God of War always get thrown out, and it's like, well, God of War was never a multi-plat. Like, it's everywhere. It was always a first party. And then Spider-Man, they were literally shopping the rights around. They went to Xbox. Xbox would have had Spider-Man to themselves because it was getting shopped around. So
you're saying if a existing franchise exists, it should never be exclusive if it's now made in-house with the first party when they bought it. That's what
I'm not saying it should never be. I'm saying I understand the complaint.
When's the deadline then? Where's that cross the line where it's finally Xboxes?
I'm saying I understand the complaint. Like if you
I understand
always
the complaint too, but I'm asking what's the line?
I like this mic guy.
It's finally Xbox.
I like him.
When that complaint goes away completely.
Oh, I don't know, because like I said, I told people, what did you expect them to do? I'm empathizing with their complaint, but I'm in agreement. Like, what do you expect Microsoft to do? You expect them to spend this kind of money and not leverage a property as exclusive? Like, yes, it's irritating to think Fallout 5 or Elder Scrolls 6 won't be on PlayStation. I 100% understand and I acknowledge and think it's legitimate to be irritated. But to expect them to not do it, I don't argue that they shouldn't. I don't argue that they shouldn't be allowed or they should never do it. I tried to tell people, I was like, you honestly think they're going to spend this kind of money and then let you keep playing those games? Like they're going to be like, yeah, here's Elder Scrolls 6 or yeah, here's Fallout or whatever. For me, I'm actually more concerned about franchises I really like falling under the creative bankruptcy of Microsoft. Like, I think they're bad at games. I don't want, like, my complaint's different. It's like, they have every right to do it. It's their property. Why would we expect anything less? My worry and concern is we're going to keep getting Redfall, Starfields, and Forza Motorsports.
I mean, if we kept on getting Starfields and Forza Motorsports, happy days, right, chat? Happy days! Yep, he's still complaining. I mean, this guy, Mike, literally just destroyed him. Literally destroyed him. I mean, it's like this morning, right? This morning, my son came downstairs, right? True story, right? I'm not sure if you lot have seen this on my Twitter, and if you haven't, go and follow me, Chaos Prime Z. He came down and I said, hey, now that your laptop is in repair, but he's got the Series S upstairs. I said, what are you playing? And he goes, oh, I've been playing Starfield. And I said, I thought you'd have been all over Lies of P. Because, you know, he likes Elden Ring is one of his favorite games of all time. He absolutely adored Elden Ring. I think he had 7 or 8 playthroughs in the end with different builds and different styles. My dude just lived in that game, right? And he goes, yeah, I've downloaded it, but I'm enjoying Starfield. And I said, oh, whereabouts are you? And he goes, oh, I've just finished the Freestar Collective faction. I said, oh, I haven't even started that personally myself. I haven't done any factions yet. I'm about to go into it as soon as I have some time. And he goes, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I go, how's it running on the Series S? And he said, fine, no problem at all. And I said, so when do you think you'll be playing Lies of P? Because I think you would really enjoy that because he likes Souls games. And he goes, I don't know. I said, 2026? And he goes, Yeah, about that. I should be done with Starfield by then. But you know, I told him to try out Starfield because he shares my Xbox account upstairs. I mean, I've bought Starfield anyway, so I don't really care. Got my nice watch as well. That's still in its box, but I didn't think he was playing it. He didn't really talk about it, and I was really surprised to hear how he's literally just been living in Starfield for the past few weeks. It's been interesting to say the least. The IGN fiasco surrounding the Forza modes. You know, I never knew that's how you pronounce this. I always thought it was Forza, but it's Forza. It's got a T that isn't put there in front of between the R and the Z. Goes to show how incompetent and malicious IGN are towards Xbox. I think this is a little unfair with Destin. There was a bug in the game and he wasn't aware, right? It's Turn 10's fault. They should have told everyone that there's a bug and they didn't. And if you basically change one of the settings, the gamma settings, it screws up with your image and you kind of need to restart your whole machine before it realigns itself. So is Starfield worth buying disc form? As long as you're going to be subscribed to Game Pass, no. I got the Ultimate Collector's Edition for £250. That comes with the watch. It's a really nice collector's edition. You know, you get the watch, the actual game. You know, the credits that you actually get. The actual game code is on the credits. It's pretty awesome, and it's bloody heavy as well. Really heavy. People tried to tell me that the combat wasn't great. I still haven't finished God of War Ragnarok. I found it incredibly boring compared to the first game. I'm probably going to return back to it and try and finish it. Xbox update in time for day one. Good to see they prioritized Xbox to get this out. Timely manner. We're happy to announce that a new patch has been rolled out to Xbox Series XS. Please reboot your... I hope that fixes the patch. I hope that fixes the stuff because that looked awful. He'll be playing Starfield until 2028. Man, look at these graphics. I will say this though, without DLSS, my PC struggled to run this with everything ultra at 2K resolution on a 3090 Ti. So whether that's optimization or whether it's designed for the 4080 series, I don't know, but I would have thought a 3090 would have run this on easily, but with DLSS it goes well beyond 60. But without DLSS, it does struggle a little bit. That's insane. They thought I was playing when I said this is exactly how Microsoft is going to be to Sony when it's all said and done. And all that doom and glooming, acting like the deal wasn't going through. You'll better stop listening to these false prophets. They knew it. They were just trying to muddy the waters. I really haven't seen a single pony post yet. Kind of wild that we're in a timeline where PlayStation owns Bungie and Xbox owns Crash Bandicoot. It looks incredible, right? Those were replays, obviously. I really feel bad for this game. This game should have done better. Ubisoft asked on the future of physical media. What do you not think about physical media in general? There's a collector edition market. There's the aspect of gifting physical items and allowing access for people to be able to easily purchase a game in a store and gift them to their friends or family. Some people will always want to own a physical disc. I just don't think it's going away. Do I think physical sales might get lower over time? Sure. But it will never, ever completely go away. I don't think so. I don't think it will go away, but I think you'll be finding that you'll have very little kind of software. But in the end, if games go to, if hardware disappears, then physicals disappear. Remember, Xbox can claim COD as a Xbox title as of today. What did Sarah say? With the sale of Activision's cloud streaming rights to Ubisoft, we've made sure Microsoft can't have a stranglehold over this important and rapidly developing market. I mean, it's not that rapid. Say Sarah Cardell, CEO of CMA. As cloud gaming grows, this intervention will ensure people get more competitive prices, better services, and more choice. We are the only competition agents globally to have delivered this outcome. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what it was all about. I said this from the very goddamn beginning, that right there was what it was always about. We are the only competition agency globally to have stood up to Microsoft and won. That is what it was always about. See, the last line was their true agenda, and we called it. That right there was what it was always about, to say that we made Microsoft bend the knee. That is all this whole fiasco going 20 months was all about. And it's really freaking sad. But because up until recently, the UK was part of EU, so they didn't really have that big of a say. The EC basically made all these decisions for everyone, right? But ever since we had Brexit, we had our own competition market authority. But they never ever had a big decision come their way. They had the Nvidia one that came along with Nvidia trying to buy ARM, but that was an easy, absolute nope, right? That made sense on so many different levels. If Nvidia bought ARM, they would easily have a monopoly. They would own the tablet market, they would own the mobile market, they would own the gaming market. That wasn't as easy no as you can possibly get. So that wasn't really the landslide victory that would have made the CMA stand out. And the CMA did block that deal as well, right? The actual Nvidia deal. But this one, with the Activision Blizzard deal, the biggest deal in the history of tech at $69 billion. This one would make a name for you. And the fact that Sarah Cardell managed to get Microsoft to bend the knee to cater to their whims is an enormous win for the CMA. People don't see that, but when you look at it now, she can turn around and say, we are the only competition agency globally to have delivered this outcome. Not the US, not China, not Japan, not any other country in the world with a regulator could stand up to Microsoft. But we did. And we won because we got what we wanted. And that's what it was all about. I don't see the lie though. Of course Nicola's not gonna see the lie. He's a very salty fanboys. He's a very salty fanboy. You know, has anyone seen him? Actually, I'm gonna go back 1 second. Has he posted anything on Baldur's Gate 3? No, that's not Baldur's Gate. That's not Baldur's Gate. Because this guy was jerking off to Baldur's Gate. Like it was like the second coming for him. Literally in the terms of coming. Every time he spoke about Baldur's Gate, he was spunking out. But where's the Baldur's Gate? Where's the Baldur's Gate? I mean, he's still doing, looking at Starfield. Covering reviews is an essential YouTube sub. I mean, it definitely looks nicer. But where's the Baldur's Gate stuff? Oh, hey, we finally found one. October the 6th. 8 days ago. I think that's Baldur's Gate. Crazy, right? Can you imagine Spyro appearing in the next Halo game? You see Spyro flying in the distance? Or just put Spyro as the dragon in Skyrim at the beginning. That works. What the fuck? Dude, man. This is a PlayStation fanboy sending it to some random dude called John. Your father is dead because of you. You're a stupid Xbox. Poor Darius celebrated a deal going through, but he realized that his deadbeat father never cared about him. That's wow, man. That's fucking yikes. God damn it, I said I wasn't gonna curse this one. That deserved it though. That deserved it. I'm gonna give myself a pass for that one. Isn't that the retro thing on Xbox? I haven't tried it yet. I honestly haven't tried it yet. I should. I wonder, can Activision actually start making Spider-Man game or Spider-Man or hit? Can they? Can they? I do wonder. There's a fee to it, isn't there? Isn't there like a monthly fee to it? I mean, these are all the studios that they pretty much have bought over the years. No complaints there, though. Okay, when they do it. Yeah, and they screwed that up as well, HD Gaming. They screwed that up as well. Oh, Rampage! That's so cool. I remember Rampage. You climb up buildings, right? And knocking shit down. I remember that. It is that game, right? I am thinking of the right game. Just call you Nate? No worries. Rampage was that was sick. What's going on here? Did Microsoft Xbox News literally break Twitter? Y'all been tweeting nothing since '69. Oh yeah, Twitter actually got broken today, didn't it? Yeah, actually, the news broke Twitter today. But you know what? Spawn could appear. We could have a new Spawn game. I would love a new Spawn game. That would be freaking awesome. I mean, look at the copium. PlayStation, please buy Square Enix. Like Square Enix is going to sell to them. October 18th is the deadline for Sony's Silence. The gloves are coming off. Brace for impact. And then all you see is Tumbleweed. And all they're going to see, and all they've seen so far is Tumbleweed. In fact, it's so bad that every pony has actually gone and hidden. I literally don't see any anything from PlayStation fans. Like nothing. Oh, can you imagine Master Chief skin in Call of Duty? And he was so depressed in this video, it's not even funny. And it's fan off. But yeah, I think yeah, these are all the Spider-Man games. Like it or not, these are all gonna come to Xbox. Edge of Time was actually really good. I never played In the Shadows. Shattered Dimensions, I think I played like half of it. So that was actually a pretty good one as well. Hey, we'll be having 5 Spider-Man games to play, probably at 120 FPS. I mean, that's the weird part, right, Creed? Because when we look at the Square Enix games, they kind of will go to Sony anyway. Oh, look at this dude. Shall we see what the copium is for him? He's trying to big up 14 million views for this. Wait. It's a promoted tweet. What did you think was going to happen? Let's check him out. Let's check him out. So he thinks Spider-Man 2 is going to get 88. Man, it's going to suck for Xbox when PS5 Pro launches next year. It'll be far and away the best way to play all the ABK games, but you're not getting all the ABK games. All you're getting is COD. I honestly don't know, dude. For you to be able to get to a position where you're physically attacking someone's family or well-being, it's a special place. The Series S is going to struggle going forward. I don't think developers are prepared to develop for it, downsize for it. So Microsoft needs to make that transition easier. I do agree that the Series S is going to be a little bit more difficult. Let's see what he says. Nothing? Wait, because it doesn't run at 60 FPS? Is that a complaint? It's a £200 console. What did you want from it? My dude is bigging up Helldivers. I mean, that's where they're at right now, yeah. I'd go with Skylanders. It's got the potential to attract more people to buy games, to buy their hardware. And it's going to be cheaper. I think Skylanders has a way bigger audience. And they can even tap into people like you and me by putting characters from like Doom into it, from Halo, from Perfect Dark. They've literally now got the wealth of characters from ABK, Bethesda, and Xbox Game Studios to be able to put just all those characters as a crossover into that game, as well as the standard characters, right? So that alone will attract people to buy it. That would be insane. I think they would they'd still find a reason to complain. They would still find a reason. They got Boosteroid supporting Microsoft after Microsoft gave them everything they ever wanted. Splatoon Halloween event looking great as always. Man, these people are... I mean, has the PS5 Pro even officially been confirmed? Is this the same clip? Man, look at this. Just look at this. All of these could be coming to Xbox this year. That's a lot of single-player campaigns. What does he say?
You guys don't launch high-quality, high-caliber games. You don't. No matter how much people love Starfield and how much fun they're having, it's not an excellent top-shelf game. Phil Spencer basically told us it wasn't going to be. And then look at the review scores. We can make up every excuse we want. It's a bad port. It's being review bombed. This is absolute ludicrous in light.
Ludicrous. Okay. Let's Yeah, I know she's hot. Let's look at like anything that has Xbox in it, we know that it's going to give 10 out of 10, so kind of can brush this aside. So these are good scores. These are what I expected to get. Even an 85, I think, is reasonable. Right? Even 80, I think it's fine. Even Survivor gave it 80, which is saying something. Okay, now we get down to Metro, giving it a 6 out of 10. Completely biased. It's gonna skew the reviews. Eurogamer was always gonna give it low because they got left out of the review games. There you go. Edge as well. We're gonna give it bad because they got left out. Merry Station is a PlayStation-oriented publication. They were always gonna give it bad. Jimbo over here, he basically said, I don't care if the game is good or bad. I don't like Bethesda because of their views on trans people, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I mean, why he bothered reviewing it in the first place, I don't know. But when you give a game a 5 and a 4 out of 10, that is 100% going to skew your stuff. When you've got these three over here deliberately giving it a 6 out of 10. I mean, the Metro turned around and said, we really enjoyed Starfield, but we had already decided before playing that we were going to give it 6 out of 10. That is what they wrote in their review, right? They said no matter how good the game was, we already made the decision that we were going to give it 6 out of 10. But to turn around and say that the game isn't being review bombed and it doesn't matter, it 100% matters. But obviously he's a donkey, so for him it won't matter.
Of the volume of reviews on Steam, like to consider that that's even possible, that people are review bombing it and actually pulling the score down is ludicrous mathematically. That people are review bombing it and actually pulling the score down is ludicrous mathematically. Possible that people are review bombing it and actually pulling the score down is ludicrous mathematically.
Sorry. It's ludicrous, right? It's ludicrous, right, chat? It is ludicrous! What can I say? It's ludicrous!
But take the reviews out of it. There's millions of people playing the game, right? There's millions of people playing the game, and that's what counts for those companies. There's millions of people that are paying for Game Pass to play Starfield or to play Forza Motorsports, or they bought it straight up. There's millions of people playing.
Not Starfield, not anymore.
There was.
But that's the issue, isn't it? Is there was, and then there's that immediate drop off. Like it's barely. Money. How do we know they made their money though?
But what I'm saying is, Diablo made its money. Cyberpunk made its money when it came out, right? Day one, it made all its money back, and for 3 years they went around and turned around and fixed it, and spent another $127 million to fix the game over 3 years. Mm-hmm. They made that money already. Okay, so regardless if it was successful or not, they made their money.
Well, Cyberpunk's a completely different scenario because their share value has still not recovered.
It's the same though. The people that bought it straight up for the collector's edition, okay, well, how much was the collector's edition? $200?
For what?
for Starfield. Was
for
$200?
Starfield. I thought you were asking about Cyberpunk. I was like, I didn't buy that one. Yeah, it was $200 for the collector's edition.
Great. How much is the regular game? $70, right? Well, that's multiple times. That's almost 3 copies sold, right, for $200. Okay, that's almost equivalent to 3 copies sold for $200. And we know 2.5 million people were playing it on day 1 for 5 days early access, right? So if 2 million people bought it, but it's actually 3 times the sales because they paid $200 for that. And then the people that didn't have it and just had it on Game Pass and they paid the additional $30, okay, on top of that, okay, the $30 covers
This guy
half
is
the
good.
game.
This
And
guy
they don't
is
even own
good.
the game. They just paid for the DLC for 5 days and 5 days early access, right? So they made money. We just don't know what that number is, but we don't want to admit that they actually made money off it. It's successful. They said it's successful.
Well, my issue wasn't how many people play, because I mean, if we look at the numbers now, it's drop, which is the huge concern for Game
That's
Pass.
in any game though. Any game does that.
Okay, but that's a unique problem when you need cadence for Game Pass, because that means that's probably one of the biggest games they're going to launch for the foreseeable future. Starfield was arguably one of their biggest, if not the biggest, until the Elder Scrolls comes out, because they don't have. I mean, yes, annual Call of Duty, sure. Once they're able to put annual Call of Duty on Game Pass, that's going to be significant. But as far as like an iconic marketing beat game, Starfield was it, and it's already fizzled out.
What Reforged here is trying to say is that Microsoft doesn't remaster a game they released last year and release it for 70 quid. They then don't release a second game and then remaster it 2 years later and then sell it for 70 quid. And then they sit there going, right, what can we sell these guys? Because we've got no games coming out. I know. Hey, buddy, can you remaster another game? Yeah. How much will it cost you? No money at all. We're just going to up the reds and touch the textures, and that's about it. Good stuff, buddy. Get that shit out there. That's another $70, because you know why? These idiots will buy anything. As long as it has that Sony logo, they will buy a pile of shit if it has the Sony logo. So, pile that shit on. That's what he's saying.
Like as far as Steam charts go, you know, they're barely getting above 50,000 peak on Steam. And
Correct, yeah.
my issue was quality, though. My issue is not, a bunch of people are playing and a bunch of people are having fun. Like that doesn't mean that the game's quality is where I wanted it to be. It doesn't mean.
Sure, but your standards are different than the company's standards. That's what I'm saying. Your standards are that you want quality games. Their standard is that they get mid-tier 80s, okay, and people buy the game or people are on Game Pass playing for it.
And what you're saying is why I'm saying
I actually don't want to see the whole of this now. Because this guy here absolutely fucking ruined him. Absolutely ruined him. Sarah rejected me. My heart is broken. I mean, literally, I could just sit here and watch him getting ruined all day.
People are having fun.
I think the problem with Forza Motorsport, though, is you're citing the Metacritic review score, and it has terrible scores on Steam as well as the Xbox.
I'm only
storefront.
citing it because that's what the population of Twitter likes to do.
Right, and I think that's almost a whole other discussion. That the review meta of gaming right now is astroturfing nonsense. It's not these outlets are not to be trusted. They're beholden to a company,
sure. And I agree with that.
Right, for Forza Motorsport to be getting 9s and 10s and 85s and high scores, and then you go and look at what users are saying about it and what users are scoring it. It's absolute astroturfing. This is not a genuine review, summary of Forza Motorsport. And I think the comparisons to Gran Turismo 7 are objective because of the way that places like Digital Foundry can handle it and measure it and do side by sides, as well as they were promised things that just aren't there. That's the other thing. Is like, let's just ignore
Sure.
Gran Turismo for a second. Like, there's things in Forza Motorsport that aren't even there that were promised, and that I think is the valid criticism and critique there. And my pushback and concern and worry is, look at what happened to Jedi Survivor when Disney said, we need a new Star Wars game every 6 months.
Sure, you got to rush it out.
Right, so cadence is prioritized. And look at what happened to Star Wars Jedi as a franchise. They lost their director. He left because more than likely Disney wants that cadence again for the next title, and he's like, I'm not doing this again. We poured so much into this story. I think Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor is some of the best Star Wars story you can get anywhere, including the cartoons, including
Agreed.
Empire. It's fantastic, and they mistreated it so poorly, and that's Star Wars. And it was, it actually did commercially well, which is doubly frustrating because of the IP is so popular. And that's my concern. My concern is not that, like, Microsoft should not be allowed to make these games exclusive. Like, the minute we talk about this, it always turns into, like, well, cry more, pony. They can do whatever they want. It's like, I acknowledge they can do what they want with their own property.
You
I
don't,
don't expect them
like
to do
the work
otherwise.
ethic, though. You don't like the contracts they have with the 18 months. That's the biggest problem with Microsoft and the way they do games.
Yeah, I feel that they are creatively bankrupt, and I think that their processes are acidic to creation.
So, he doesn't talk about how when Gran Turismo went out to review, the microtransaction store was hidden and no one was allowed to see the store. Not a single reviewer saw the cash prices for those cars. And I guarantee you, if they saw the prices for those vehicles, those same cars in Gran Turismo 3 were £3. But in the previous Gran Turismo, whatever it was called, they were £3. Or £3.50. And in Gran Turismo 7, they were £25 from £3. And you're telling me that any reviewer that would have seen that wouldn't have docked points for it? Of course they would. That's why they hid it. Also, why do you think no reviewer was told that if you go offline in the game, because no one would have tested this, right? No, I wouldn't have even thought to test this. If you go offline, you only have one car and one racetrack that you can use. The whole game is removed. Are you telling me that those two aspects alone would not have reduced the review score for Gran Turismo 7? You tell me, folks. You tell me. How can you spoil the Mario game? Oh, this is brilliant. Oh, this is brilliant. That's fucking fun. That is brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. Yeah, my brother actually found it in the UK for like £35, brand new, pre-order. And I was like, mate, if you can find it for 35 quid, a Nintendo first-party game on launch, sign me up, buddy. Sign me up. So I'll be picking that up. I wonder if we're allowed to stream Nintendo games. I've seen so many people get copyright strikes on their YouTube channels for even showing Nintendo games. It's really dangerous. Should we do it, chat? Should we do it? Should we listen to what MBG said? Shall we do it?
Love and Peace says, well, I'm not going to read that because I'm pretty sure that's all right. That was already hidden. Wow. You know, you gotta love people, man, that are just all right. So this person, Love and Peace, straight up. Let's go. You're a fucking shitty person, dude. I hope you're happy. I do. I hope you're happy because you know what? You do nothing in this world. Do you understand that, Love and Peace? You do nothing in this world. You gave me $2. That's about all you did. I'll take your fucking money. Thank you. But you know what? You're a useless person. You're a garbage person. You don't do anything for anybody, and you proved it. You proved it because you know what you could have done today? You could have done anything. You could have done anything. You could have done just the smallest thing for somebody out there. But no, you choose to do this.
I wonder what he did.
So, you know, take yourself and just go fuck yourself. Because that's probably all you're good for, right? That's all you're good for. Go in a corner and just fuck yourself. Because no one likes you. Who would like a person like this? I mean, who would actually
want
to be around somebody like this? You know what? This guy could have a whole fucking second identity. For all I know, this is like a 40-year-old father or some shit. Has no idea. Just fucking chaos out there on the internet. Total second life. But from what I can see, that's what you are. You say your name's Love and Peace. You're not Love and Peace. You're a piece of shit. That's what you are. So, fuck you. And thank you for the money. And by all means, if you want to keep giving me money, go ahead. Make a second account. Give me your fucking money. I'll take it. I'll take it from you. Dumb bitch. Fuck, man.
Now I'm interested in what he said. He got really pissed off though. It must have been my video. It must have pushed him over the head. Oh, what's this?
What I said about you on Twitter, I don't know. I saw a tweet and a feed where you dogpiled and had something nasty to say. So you got the swift block. I don't even know why I'm letting you hang out today.
Wasn't he the one that said he doesn't ban people and now he's banning people? I don't. That's actually interesting. Someone might have done that. Am I weird for being more okay with having my family insulted online than having Spider-Man 2 spoiled for me right now? Yeah, you are weird. MBG actually has a set on him. You know what? That's probably what it was. That's probably what it was. I mean, I'm literally just in a corner in my house. I mean, we all know he's going to save the day, right? That is a Spider-Man spot for millions of people. Yeah, see, I miss Perules. This person noped out entirely after Florian decided to take him to court for defamation. As soon as he got the summons for information, Pearl Rulers basically shut his account down, everything, and he noped out of the internet. Now tell me this. If you spewed bullshit about someone that you knew was correct, 100%, you got them banned from multiple forums, why would you nope out of existence when they try to sue you? You've clearly got the proof, right? Oh, wait, but what happens if you were chatting shit? Things could then get a bit saucy, right? I love it how things go full circle. I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah, sorry we didn't really get to play much games today. Anything actually. I just don't feel I had the energy to talk and game at the same time. I'm surprised I actually made it this far. But I think I'm going to actually call it there. Thank you so much to those of you that actually stuck around and enjoyed it. I appreciate you all. It has been, fun and entertaining for me. But I think I'm just going to go grab some rest because I do need it. I do need it. But yeah, Activision and Blizzard is finally over. This doesn't mean you guys can unsubscribe. No permission to. I may try to stream a little bit of Lies of P again tomorrow, or maybe some Starfield. Maybe I'd like to get back into that again. Find some time for it, or maybe we can play some Assassin's Creed Mirage. Which one would you like? Before I head out. And definitely do follow me over at Twitch. Tads, if you could throw that link in again. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming over on here or over on at Twitch. I may do it over at Twitch because it's just Saturday and it's easier for me to set up. At the end, there are end credits. But yeah, definitely drop me a follow there, and hopefully I'll see a bunch of you over there. But yeah, I may stream over here. I haven't decided. I haven't streamed over at Twitch for a while, so I'd like to get back to that as well. Again, that's if I'm feeling any better tomorrow. No guaranteeing that. Right, folks, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.